music off. Look at me. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Woof, we had a couple little technical issues that was scary this morning. I can't see my chat, so I'm going to pull up. Hi, Easily. How are you? I see you over there. How are you? That's okay. I'll read the chat from the chat. You know, man, here's what we do. We just make it happen. We don't care about technical difficulties. As long as I'm coming through, it doesn't matter. I hope I'm coming through. I think I am because I heard the stream on my other stream. Good morning. Happy frickin' Friday. Frickin' Frack Friday. That's right. Frickin' Frack Friday. I'm Lolo, and welcome to Wake and Bake with Lolo. I stayed up. I just have to admit something. I have to come clean. I stayed up until 3, no, was it? I guess it, no. Was it about 3 a.m.? No, I think it was probably 2 a.m. Oh my gosh, I am so excited. I'm good, Neil. How are you? Good morning, dear. Good morning. Staying warm with wind at -30. Oh shit, that's right. It's Texas, right? Or at least somewhere in the south. Forgive me easily. I don't mean to locate you. But I think you were in the south, and they're really experiencing a lot of cold right now. And of course, they're not used to that. And they don't have the infrastructure. Oh, Chicago. Oh my goodness, you're in the belly of the beast. That's where you are. Oh my goodness, you're in the belly of the beast, Easily. Oh, what a beautiful city. Gosh, I love that area. I love Illinois. I love everything, actually. I find the Midwest to be really beautiful. I don't know. I like Missouri. I went to Missouri for a family reunion. And it's a beautiful place. Like, it's such beautiful rolling hills and green and lush. And I just really loved it. At least that was western Missouri. I don't know about eastern Missouri, but that was out in the country. Out in the country where I was from. Actually, my dad was a farmer. My grandpa was a farmer. My grandpa kept pigs. My grandpa was the best pig farmer in blank county. I'm not going to tell you which county. Good morning. Good morning, Grace Lisa. Good morning. Oh, my goodness. I am sad because Dump rescinded the invitation to Mark Carney to join the Board of the Board of Pustules. That's a good one, Neil. Yeah, Mark Carney. You know, hey, here's the thing. You know, Mark Carney, God bless him, did give a great speech. I mean, the speech was absolutely amazing. There are so many beautiful places in the United States. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I can go anywhere and find beauty. Like, I don't think that the Midwest is any less than the coast. The coast has different things, and the Midwest has different things. And so, yeah, and some people prefer the water, and I love a good lake. Give me a good lake. Oh, I'm in. I am in. If I have a beautiful lake, maybe some rolling hills, hell yeah. I am there. I am happy. I am where I need to be. Let's see. Okay, so so I stayed up until 2 a.m. last night because I created, this is going to fail miserably, but that's what I like to do. I like to do things that will probably fail. And that's okay because I don't have a lot riding on it. It's not like I have a reputation to maintain or anything like that. So at this point, it's kind of moot. But I started my own radio station.
Across the city.
Oh, shit.
That, by the way, is...
Okay, actually, this is Mom Donnie's press conference. So let me go ahead and pull that up because I had it ready to go. Oh, not ready to go. Yeah. I'm not ready to go. In the rooftop, shout it out. I'm ready to go. Oh, you're ready to go. Mr. Mom Donnie, we're excited to hear what you're gonna say. For all the people here, yeah. How does one start a radio station? Well, I will tell you the entire story, Grace Lisa. And it's not my radio station. It's our radio station. And I could not. This is like a dream come true. I got to tell you the whole story because it's really quite stupid.
Across the city.
Here we go.
That, by the way, is likely to occur Sunday morning. And all of this is going to be overseen internally by DSNY's Blade Runner 2.0 system, which monitors plowing and salting in real time to ensure that every community, every neighborhood, every part of New York City will be met with the services of this city government. Now, this is a storm that will also bring with it significant amounts of precipitation. It will carry a cold front as well. And that is why we have enacted a Code Blue now in effect, which has been in effect since last night. This means that homeless services outreach workers have been and will continue to canvass the 5 boroughs so that we are connecting homeless New Yorkers with shelter and bringing them out of the cold. DHS is going to be bypassing the intake operation procedures just to ensure that we are getting people into these shelters as quickly as possible. No one is going to be denied across the city. And finally, while we are still waiting to make a final decision on whether school will be in person or virtual, we will communicate that decision to families by noon on Sunday. That is going to be a decision between in-person learning and remote learning. I have to apologize to the students that were hoping for a different answer for a traditional snow day. That will not be the case. We will also be canceling PSAL activities on Sunday. Throughout every step of this storm, city government is going to communicate directly to you as New Yorkers. I encourage every New Yorker to join the more than 1 million who have already signed up for Notify NYC. You can do that by texting Notify NYC to 692-692. We will be sending you texts, updates, and alerts, and we will also regularly brief New Yorkers over the course of this weekend. And finally, I want to encourage New Yorkers to do their parts to stay safe this weekend. That is why we are issuing a hazardous travel advisory for Sunday and for Monday. So if you need groceries, if you need a new winter coat, if you need anything, frankly, that you are thinking about for this weekend, today is the day to make that trip. Because once the snow begins to fall, I want to encourage New Yorkers to do something that we don't often have the luxury of doing, which is to take a breath and stay home. Stay indoors, stay off the roads, watch the snow come down, watch the worst possible reality TV show you can find, and take some time away from the roads. Because while this is going to be a big storm, these are the kinds of challenges that New Yorkers and the hardworking men and women of New York City government overcome all the time, and it's a moment that this city is prepared to meet. So I ask once again to stay out of the elements and to know that the people alongside me and the hardworking men and women who are already hard at work across the city will be the ones to ensure that this is a storm that meets its match in this city. Thank you, and I'm now going to pass it over to our MTA CEO, Jenna Lieber.
Thank you, Mayor. And I know some of us who dread reality TV are glad to know there's also football if it comes to that. But thank you for your leadership. And I've been in touch with Governor Hochul this morning. She's declared a statewide state of emergency. Obviously, the principal impacts of this pending storm are likely to be downstate. But she asked me to underscore the MTA will be operational this weekend. Obviously, we have detailed plans in place for storms like this. To protect the network, to protect our riders, and to protect our employees. We pre-position a ton of equipment and personnel. I want to thank our workforce in advance. I know there are many city agencies that are going to be working 24/7, but the MTA workforce is always standing by and ready to deliver. We have 220 miles of subway that is out of doors. I won't specify the lines. New Yorkers know what they are. We'll be focused on making sure that those continue to be operational with our snow fighting trains, with the de-icing systems. We'll have tow trucks ready for wherever they are needed. And the same goes for the commuter railroads. So, but in any case, the bus network is ready to pick up the slack, as it always does in these situations. In these major storms, we have 35 snow fighting vehicles that can rapidly clear block streets, and all the buses will be fitted with trains. Articulated buses, those longer buses, will be taken out of service for safety reasons, but otherwise the entire bus fleet will be in action. Bridges and tunnels. We've got over 9,000 tons of roadway de-icer and over 100 pieces of equipment at the ready. The bottom line, New Yorkers, is this ain't our first rodeo at the MTA. We have handled big storms. New Yorkers have handled big storms, and we're ready to do this again this weekend. The mayor mentioned all the New York City apps and alerts to stay in touch with. We also have the same with the MTA. Pay attention to the MTA app, to the train time app, social media, digital screens in the stations will have updated information. And we have an MTA service alert system, which can send you real-time personalized info. Get on the MTA website, sign up for that, so you'll know how your part of the MTA system is working as we go through this storm. Thank you, Mayor, and thank you, Governor, for your leadership as well.
Thank you. And I'm now going to call up Chancellor Kamar Samuels.
All right. What an exciting first month on the job. But even though this is a new role for me, as a teacher, principal, superintendent, it was always my delight to make sure we were making the best decisions on behalf of our young people. And this is no different. Over the past several days, teams across our system and city agencies have been working around the clock to monitor the weather, assess our options, and plan for every possible scenario. By the latest, noon on Sunday afternoon, we will announce whether schools will be, either pivoting to remote or open for instruction. In either case, learning will continue in an environment the city deems
I like
safe.
this guy.
We know that families need timely, clear information to plan their schedules. And we are committed to getting you those updates as quickly as possible. As a teacher, principal, superintendent, and now chancellor, I've seen many, many corners of this extraordinary system. I want personally to thank educators, custodian teams, food service workers, nurses, support staff, bus drivers, superintendents, and so many other of our hard-working, dedicated staff each day. Please note that these decisions are managed with great care and attention to detail, with our families' safety as a top priority. In the meantime, we encourage all our families, to use Notify NYC, as well as look out for Gamma messages from from New York City Public Schools. Now, I do want to announce a follow-up to the mayor that PSAL activities are canceled for Sunday. We also have other extended use permits that will be canceled for Sunday, as well as any Sunday academies. So I want to thank you all for your timely responses and encouragement, and say we are ready for whatever eventuality there is.
Please. All right, we'll start with Katie. Go ahead.
Oh, hi, Mayor Martin.
Okay.
And for the Chancellor, the last time that schools went full remote, it was a disaster, for lack of a better term. I've spoken to parents and teachers. The only guidance they've received is bring your devices home and we'll let you know by noon Sunday what's going to happen. What have you and the city schools done to prepare both students, teachers, and administrators to ensure that Monday isn't a disaster with a successful remote school day?
I think the first thing is preparing in advance, and I think one of the issues that many students, teachers, and parents faced last time around was the inability for the system to handle the amount of people who were logging on all at once. And so I've been heartened by the work that our incredible chancellor and all those of the DOE have done to stress test the system
Give the
in
poor
advance.
kids a snow
So yes,
day.
on Sunday by
Oh my
12 p.m. we
goodness.
will let parents, teachers, and students know whether the day will be in person or remote, but we are preparing for the possibility of remote such that we do not repeat those mistakes of the past. Chancellor, if you want to add anything.
Yeah. So I was a superintendent when the day you're talking about, that day will live in infamy. I will say that very clearly, I want to say very clearly, we have prepared in numerous ways for what might be a pivot to remote for next week. And we've stress tested the system both in person with students logging in, and as well we've had simulations. So we are prepared now, and we've increased the capacity to make sure that we can house as many students as possible on that day. So we now have the capacity of having 1 million students logging at the same time within 60 seconds. We now have that. And then secondly, we've also talked to parents and families about logging in early on Sunday so you can get prepared and used to the system. And then also having a staggered schedule on Monday to make absolutely sure that we are prepared and have the capacity. So I'm very, very confident after having worked with so many of our partners to make sure that this is going to be successful in the login process.
When was the last time you did the test?
The most recent test was in December.
Question about the weather for both the mayor and maybe Commissioner Iskel can weigh in on this as well. What concerns you the most about this storm now that we've seen there is sleet, possibly freezing rain, icing, and extreme cold involved in it? What are you most worried about when it comes to this storm?
I think the thing that would worry me is if we find New Yorkers going about their lives as if there was no storm. And we want to encourage everyone to stay home. We want to encourage everyone that if there's a trip you need to take, if there's a person you need to see, do that today, do that tomorrow. But on Sunday, that is a day that we encourage everyone to stay home. Now, we are preparing for a range of potential snowfall, right? We're seeing the estimates now around 8 to 9 inches, let's say at the very least. It climbs up to potentially about a foot, if not a little bit more. What heartens me, frankly, is that in the work and in the meetings that I've been having with the incredible leadership that we have here is the knowledge of what the hardworking men and women of city government are already doing. So I'll give you this example. Brining the highways and major roadways. That's not just critical in preparing for the storm, but also in ensuring that once the storm has passed, that we can return back to the city as it was. This is when we're talking about the salting of the streets, when we're talking about the snowplow. I mean, the city has procured 700 million pounds of salt in advance of this storm to be prepared for this. So I feel quite confident in the abilities of those around me and in those who work for this city. And frankly, I'm thankful for their work, because what we're talking about is work that began at 6 a.m. today. What we're talking about is work that's going to be 12-hour shifts. It's going to be round the clock from a number of different agencies. But Commissioner, I don't know if you want to add anything.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor. You know, as the mayor was saying, I think a big concern is what people do with their time on Sunday. You know, it's not only important for their safety that they stay home, it also enables our sanitation workers and crews to do their work clearing roads. It's also really important that if there are emergency crews that need to move around the city, that they can do that easily. And then I think the other thing that we are keeping our eye on, and I say this to somebody who's, it's my job to really be concerned about everything, but we're keeping a very, very close eye on the forecast Sunday night to see how that develops. And we're still a little bit early out. But as the mayor said, you know, it is really remarkable the amount of work that these city agencies do and these city workers going into an event like this days in advance. You think about all of the sanitation crews, folks from Department of Transportation, NYPD, FDNY. It really is remarkable. I think the big thing is we really need New Yorkers to do their part as well, and then watching that forecast overnight Sunday and seeing how that develops. Thank you.
Yeah, Matt.
For Jano, does the Long Island Railroad...
Sorry. Jenna had to leave. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, Chris, go ahead.
Congrats on the new position.
Thank you. Let's talk about it. For city government workers, are they going to be encouraged to work remotely if they can? And then had a question about the stress testing.
So we're going to have all uniform services are going to be working as normal, typically, which is in person on Monday. DCAS is going to be sending advisory out to other city workers on Monday with agency-specific directives. And all of this, I think, comes back to something that the commissioner was also mentioning earlier, as well as the chancellor. This comes back to safety. And a lot of this depends on the amount of snowfall that we're going to see on Sunday. But as soon as we have a sense of what it will look like for Monday's conditions, that's the kind of guidance that's going to be given. And you DCAS is going to be sending those directives agency by agency, but when it comes to our uniform services, they're going to be reporting in person.
And then you had a question for the chancellor?
Yeah.
For the stress tests on the virtual school the system. Were you saying there's been no tests since December? And if so, why haven't there been more recent tests that you?
Yeah, so I think we have simulations that we're running all the time, and the stress tests have, most recent ones have been in December.
All right, we'll go to Dave right here.
Other ones now, just ahead of this one?
These are the last tests for December. Dave, go ahead.
Hey, how's it going? You gotta wear a jacket on Sunday. Please. I know.
Do you know what a snack down is?
A snack down?
Snack down.
To be honest with you, I don't know what a snack down is. Yeah.
So when you have a storm, a snowstorm, the snow all comes and it forms kind of a curve extension over snow and everything. And a lot of people say this is an opportunity to, when you see these, to say,
I know where you're going.
how much space we're wasting, not extending curves, things like that. And obviously there's a lot to do while storm's happening, before the storm happens, but once it's done, is this something you're going to maybe send people around, look at it and go, these are places where we can curve extensions, these are places where we can take back pieces of the streets?
Well, I think that this is something now for us to follow up on. I think we are always looking to meet the challenge of this moment and also looking to build out the city that we deserve in the medium and the long term. And I think that one part of your question is also about street safety. And I think that is a critical directive that we have for our DOT is how do we make our streets the envy of the world. And I look forward to any of the medium and long-term lessons we can learn from this weekend about street design beyond just the question of meeting the snows.
And Dave,
Thank you. Hey, how's it going? No worries.
As for yourself, where will you be on Sunday logistically? How will you be monitoring the storm and the city's response to it?
So I'm going to spend a portion of Sunday out with city workers to make sure that we are getting a full sense of both what is being done, but also communicating directly to New Yorkers. And I think this is just another opportunity to say that, we are going to share this message, whether it's through the television channel that a New Yorker turns to, whether it's through the radio that they're listening to, but also we encourage everyone to sign up for Notify NYC. We have about, I think it's 1.3, 1.4 million New Yorkers who are currently signed up. We want to get that number up so everybody gets those updates. And then my job is to make clear that this is a city that's prepared and then to keep in close contact with not only the leaders that you've already heard from, but also my deputy mayor who is really not only running the entire operations, but is staying close at hand with any of the updates.
Yeah. Marcia, go ahead. Marcia.
Mr. Mayor, I wonder if I could ask you a question. Historically, mayors have been judged by how they handle snow. And I wondered if you've looked at the mistakes made by some of your predecessors. You've seen any pitfalls you'd like to avoid and how it's going to affect how you handle this snowstorm and how you want to be judged by New Yorkers afterwards.
I think one of the key directives that I've both given myself as well as the team around me is that we will over-communicate with New Yorkers. We are going to tell you at every instance when we have new information about this storm what it is. So initially, I'll give you an example. The forecast, it said it could be as little as 3 inches of snow. It said it could be as much as 16 inches. Now we're seeing that forecast start to narrow a little bit. Now we're seeing the minimum number closer to about 8 or 9 inches. We're seeing the maximum number still be a little over a foot. But we're going to get that message out there because I think that this is a time where we want to make sure that city workers have every ability they can to deliver on their job. And what makes it easier for them to do their job is the more New Yorkers that stay home. We want to make sure, just one more point, Marcia, I'll give you an example. We have our fire commissioner here, right? One of the key points that was being shared with me and with other city workers is how do we make sure that we do not have ambulances that are being prevented from being able to access New Yorkers or access the streets? How do we make sure that we're not facing another situation where there are preventable outcomes taking place? So that's what is at the basis of our communication. That's why I'm also trying to be everywhere as I can to keep that in mind.
The follow-up question I have is this. In the past, since I've covered snowstorms since the dinosaurs roamed the earth, there have been instances where ambulances couldn't get through, buses couldn't get through, streets were not plowed, so that some streets, like for example at the de Blasio, some streets were plowed to the tar and then other places didn't get plowed at all. So do you have a plan to make sure that there's equal plowing in all 5 boroughs so that no community can say, you missed us?
Yes. We absolutely do. And that's part of the conversation we were just having. New Yorkers can actually stay up to date. I think it's with Plow NYC, which is the public-facing information portal around the plowing patterns across the city. Internally, we have something called Blade Runner 2.0. And this is to ensure that no New Yorker is made to feel that depending on the zip code or their neighborhood, they're going to receive a different level of service. You're going to receive the same level of service across the city. And I think the other portion of this is we're talking about, with DSNY, the largest snow fighting operation in the entire country. We're talking about the transformation of collection trucks into ones that can both salt this city. We're talking about 700 of those trucks, and then we're talking about 2,200 plows. So all of this together, it's what gives me the confidence that we're going to see a city that will meet the moment, no matter if it's 8 inches of snow, 13 inches of snow. I will say that one thing that a number of New Yorkers have shared with me is we seem to have large snowstorms every 10 years. It was 96, it was 06, it was 16, it's 26. We're going to be ready.
Yeah, right here, go ahead.
Hey there, how are you?
Hey, how's it going?
Good, good. Just 2 questions. At what point do you declare a state of emergency because of the snow? Where are the markers for yourself and for the folks at the podium? Like, where is that point where you decide it's a state of emergency? And also, can you go into depth as to what the NYPD and what FDNY would also be doing at those times, and even like what 311 or 911 operations are going to be?
So I can just tell you briefly, and then I'll pass it over to Deputy Mayor Kirsten. Just in advance of this weekend, we also know that NYPD is going to be assisting with some of the traffic routing operations that we'll see across the city. Every single agency and department is going to be playing a role. You know, for example, DSNY is taking the lead on the snow plowing, but that doesn't mean that the Parks Department is not also going to be assisting in some of that work. I'm going to pass it over to DM Kirsten for some of the additional remarks.
Our emergency declarations largely allow for restricted traffic, so we'll be monitoring roadway conditions and then determining if those additional restrictions are necessary. We have those materials drafted and are ready to go if we start to see that those conditions warrant an emergency declaration.
We'll go Kelly right here and then Timmy. Go ahead.
A beet mixture to replace salt. That's amazing.
I wanted to ask you, in response to Marcia's question, previous mayors have underestimated how much snow we've gotten, and that has left them a little flat-footed. Do you have a plan for if we get more than 1 foot or significantly more? Do you have, teams that will be ready to go on top of whatever you have going on right now?
Yes, and I can tell you that right now we are preparing for every possible outcome. Right? Just because we might want to see 8 inches of snow does not mean we're not preparing for 16 inches of snow. And I think that's what gives me a real sense of confidence, is that these are the incredible men and women who are leading so much of the work across the city, so that no matter how much snow falls, it's a city that's ready. And I think the other part of this is just to explain part of the reason why we're not making a determination until Sunday at 12 p.m. about whether school on Monday will be in person or remote is precisely because of the range in forecast. We take it very seriously when we call for a remote school day, because we know that it has an impact on parents' lives. So we want to both be respectful of their lives and give them enough time to make the plans, if necessary, for a change in Monday.
Yeah, we'll go Timmy and then Liz.
I had a question about the remote learning. Obviously, I can see the argument for not wanting to cancel school that creates the need for childcare for thousands of kids. But if the kids are already at home, what is the benefit of forcing them to be on the laptop, requiring parents to oversee them, and just life's rare joy?
I'm not going to contend that a snow day is not one of life's rare joys. I will tell you that growing up in the city was one of my favorite memories. To be very clear and direct with New Yorkers, we are also bound by state law that requires 180 days of instruction. And as previous administrations have added additional holidays into the school calendar, it leaves our school calendar without any flexibility for the potential of a lack of an educational day. So if it is too much snow to call for students and educators to come to school, that's what also pushes us to require remote learning to take place from home.
Liz, go ahead.
Hi Liz, how are you?
I wanted to follow up on that question.
Please.
What is your opinion of remote learning? And were it not for the restrictions of the calendar, let's say you had the flexibility and you could have given kids a snow day, would you have? I guess I'm trying to ask, is it really the end of traditional snow days in New York, or can you see another time where barring the calendar, the school calendar, you would be willing to grant kids a day off.
I will not stand here and say that it's the end of anything. I will tell you that for Monday, however, these are the two options. And I think that there is, we will operate under the constraints as we have from the state, but we are also in the knowledge that those are constraints that could change at some point in the future. I'll add if the chancellor wants to add anything.
Good morning, everyone.
Well, you don't have to look too far
Looking
to
at this
realize
beat
the
mixture.
mayor is a lot more fun than I am, right? And so, for me, I think it's very, very clear that, given the constraints that we have with the state, and given the new life and the new era that we're in, there are benefits to remote learning. And I might offer that folks might begin to think about this as reimagining what the snow day looks like. No one is asking kids to be on a device for 6 hours and 20 minutes, right? And so we have to be flexible in our approach. Some learning will be synchronous, some will be asynchronous. You can still have your hot chocolate, you can still go out and enjoy the snow, but we really want to make sure that, especially since the pandemic, our children have missed more school than they did before, and we want to make sure that instruction continues even when it's disrupted by weather, or attempted to be disrupted by weather patterns.
All right, we've got time for one more. Hannah, go ahead. I know Jenna's not here, but I'm wondering, is there a certain amount of snow in which, the MTA has prepped you that there will be significant delays to go down? Is there, a threshold in the amount of snow, 8 inches?
What we've heard from the MTA is that they're prepared for any potential eventuality across the spectrum of snowfall that we've been briefed on. And I think that that is something that, whether it's the trains, whether it's the buses, we are talking about a system that can handle this and a system that is prepared. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much. All right, let's take one more and then we have to go. Go ahead.
What does the capacity look like given the cold blue right now? I mean, is there enough space in shelters to safely house people who are going to be taken in from the cold? So what does that look like?
Absolutely. There is enough capacity for homeless New Yorkers, and I want to say thank you to the city workers at our Department of Homeless Services who have been doing the work of actively canvassing homeless New Yorkers wherever they may be across New York City to get them into whether it's single unit beds or stabilization beds. And the most important thing is getting homeless New Yorkers off the streets, out of the cold, into shelter. And that's why, as we've been briefed, we are seeing DHS saying, the standard operating procedures of intake and all the different forms and procedures we have to go through, those are being put aside for a moment of a code blue. Because right now, we're not just talking about snowfall, we're talking about cold. And these are things that, if left together without any kind of a city response, the consequences could be significant. And so what we want to do is keep every single New Yorker safe. That includes homeless New Yorkers.
Thank you
Thank you for your question.
Thank you, Mayor Mamdani. Thank you very much, sir. All right, so let me switch some shit out here. Good morning to those I have not said hello to. How are you? So let me put on the radar. God bless America. I need to find my wireless mouse and repair it. Okay, here we go. Let me do this. Let me do that, and let me do this, and I'll do it again. Huh? They don't have fucking whatevers, but at least you can see a little bit of what's happening radar-wise. Yeah, I can listen to them too. This is why I wanted to listen to it, not because of New York being especially relevant to the chat. So thank you for indulging me, but also to hear, how he is on, approaching his job 21 days into it with, a major event. It's kind of interesting. I like hearing new leaders and really understanding what is it that they're going to be kind of offering, if you will. Good morning. Happy Friday. Oh my goodness, it's Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. It's Friday. I love Fridays. Friday. That's some circulation in LA. Is it windy? I don't really know. I don't know. I went out this morning to get my coffee and it wasn't windy. It's cold. I mean, coldish. I showed you it was 55 at the point I showed you the temperature this morning. And that's cold enough. I mean, I used to, it gets really, really cold at night. It actually is really scary for me, for homeless people, for people who are unhoused, don't have shelter, because it can get really fucking cold at night. And that's not, and we, in this part of Los Angeles, we get, we're still the recipient of the onshore breeze, right? So technically in LA proper, within the Hollywood Hills, etc., it tends to be cooler than it is because we have more onshore breeze, right? So the valleys of people here aren't prepared. Unhoused people here aren't necessarily prepared about to face that. So, and hypothermia, I guess, can happen at, I don't know what degree it can happen at. I guess it might also just be prolonged exposure, but. Was last year in Michigan, we didn't have to make up snow days, and our school administration definitely took advantage. I mean, here's the thing. I ran a school, okay? I'm going to tell you right now, one of the hardest things to do was create the school calendar and build in enough contingency. You have literally zero room for error, and you never have enough because you have to do 180 instructional days. And so it's tough. It's not easy. And when you have snow days, it makes it harder, and you tend to have conversations about extending the last day of school. and that's very disappointing for students, and you tend not to have their attention as well. So I'm a believer in, I really am interested in getting to know more about this education commissioner in New York, the DOE, the head of the DOE. He seems really, really like someone I would have appreciated to work with, because I think I had whoever the Italian, what was that guy's name? Carmen Sandiego? No, that wasn't his name. It was something Carmen. Whoever that DOE administrator, head of the DOE was, I can't remember his name. Anyway, he was really like old time New Yorker. Like, here's my example. They discovered that in the public school building that we had 1.5 floors in for our high school, they discovered that the drinking fountains, the pipes that connect the drinking fountains, had lead in them. And I couldn't, even by the time I left the school, I was unable to get DOE facilities to address lead in the pipes. They basically put a sign on a drinking fountain. I'm going to tell you, this was one of the last straws. This was one of the last things that happened that I was just like, what the fuck? Anyway, so I'm happy if there's someone approaching DOE without the kind of cronyism. Cronyism is real big in New York City in all departments of the city kind of administrative state, which is why I'm so excited about someone like Mamdani coming in and trying to break some of that. I hope he's able to, because to me, the cronyism really is the part that got in the way of really doing just really good work, like really being collaborative. It really held us back. I'm going to be honest. It held people back from collaborating and doing things. And I don't know, it was just, they really, people get really invested in their bureaucracy and in their structure. And it's hard to get people to let go of systems that have served them for many years. So it was an unfortunate, I think it was unfortunate. So yeah, let me tell you about my radio station. Gal, my kids are on remote learning today, so just popping in to say hi. Happy Friday. Hello. Oh, well, I can imagine that's a pretty goddamn good remote learning environment. Will they be bringing down the deep state for fourth period? No. Could you please teach them how to bring down Peter Thiel? Actually, I know they already know that. So never mind. Do something else. Teach them geometry. I don't know. Can you imagine homeschooling by Gal Suburban? So kids, today I'm going to tell you about the evils of the network state. I would love that. I would attend that school. First period, OSINT. You're getting discharged, Kevin. Are you going home? Oh, babe. Check your Cash App. I sent you a little something yesterday, but I don't know if you got it. So check your Cash App if you're able to access your phone. Oh, that would be great. I would love that. OSINT. I would love that. First period, OSINT. All right, everybody, get out your, get out your, oh, good. Oh, good. Get out your archive tools. Second period. What is that? Oh, what? What? Let me see what it says. Oops. Oh, shit. AI or real? Third period. Spot the disinformation. That would be amazing. I would attend said school. I know. Jay's like, we need that for adults. I'm like, yeah, we do. We need that for adults. You should actually, Gal, if like you don't have time, but if you ever had time, third period hybrid warfare. Holy shit, I fucking love you so much. You are like one of my favorite people on the planet. I gotta tell you, you make me laugh all the time. I'll tell Resistance Sentinel. Yes, exactly. Resistance Sentinel needs to be way the fuck in on this. Oh my god. Oh, you crack me up. I can't even. Oh. Yeah, that's so funny. And for lunch, bag of tears. No, I'll check in later when I get home if you're still going. All right, do Kevin. Just be safe. Oh my darling, be safe. Be safe. I'll keep in touch with you and make sure everything's kind of holding together. So anyway, this radio station, let me tell you. Okay, can I paint a picture for you? Let me paint a picture for you. I am a little girl, and I am living in my little, California world, and I watch a movie called The Fog, and it was 1980, and if you've seen it, it's one of my favorite movies. My teammate at Resistance Sentinel is scaling up the operation. This would be a great subscription. Actually, I'm going to tell you right now, Gal, I would definitely do whatever lessons you all developed. I would definitely do that. So sign me up. I think it's actually a really good idea. And, I think that's a great idea. So we just did something. Oh my God, sign me up. Exactly. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to get you a visual to go along with my story. Because it's Friday. We're not doing structure. We're not doing structure today. We're just fucking around. All right? Because it's Friday. Wait, let me see. Okay. All right, let me see. Where is it? Oh, God. Okay. I'm going to tell you right now. This was my dream to be, well, it wasn't to be her, but it was definitely, okay, my dream was to, oh, here, is this a clip? Okay. When I was little, I saw, well, actually, I wasn't really little. Would Jim Stewartson be vice principal? He should definitely be vice principal. And fuck around Fridays, that's right. When I was little and I saw The Fog, do you remember in The Fog, Adrienne Barbeau is in it, and she's the star, or one of the stars. Stevie Wayne, oh my God. And let me see if, okay, Stevie Wayne, do you remember her in Stevie Wayne? She ran the radio station for the town, out of, no, oh, are they not going to show me all of her stuff? Fuckers. Okay, that's not what I need. Anyway, she ran the radio station in the fucking, it was in a, this is it. It was in a, what are those things called? Oh my God, I love the fog. It was in a lighthouse. She ran a radio station that was in a lighthouse. She was totally in Swamp Thing. I love her. She's such a wonderful actress, actually. She was really a wonderful actress. Jamie Lee Curtis. Yep, Jamie Lee Curtis was in it. And this was after, Halloween and stuff like that, a couple of years after Halloween. Another John Carpenter, which I love John Carpenter so much. I just think he's one of my favorite all-time movie makers. But she ran a radio station out of the top of a lighthouse. And when I was young, I saw that and I was like, I need to do that. I need to sit in the top of my lighthouse and be able to do a radio station and just do what I want, like on that radio station. Doesn't it seem me? Doesn't it fucking exactly like smaller boobs, but still same concept. Adrienne Barbeau was known for having a very large boobs, but she actually was an amazing. I mean, she was not just a kind of a ingenue. Yeah, it's Radio Lolo. So let me show you it, because what I'm doing right now is just a pilot, and it could all crash down tomorrow. So there's no need for anyone to get excited. La 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 la. And right now, there's literally no programming on this radio station. It is so stupid. So this is it. Pardon our mess. New programming coming soon. Get Lolo in your ear 24/7 with the station for democracy, news, laughs, and more. Chat with us during live shows on youtube.com at Real Lolo. Yeah, there it is. Radio Lolo. Radio Lolo. Radio Lolo. Yeah. And right now it has our silly theme songs. Oh, wait. Is it going to play? I don't even know. Is it even working? It might not even be working. I don't know. It's not really playing. But anyway, so I just did this last night in the literal middle of the night. And I guess it's not going to play. I probably broke it. Anyway, the point is, you get the point. This is a radio station, and I want it to build. What do you call it? I mean, I don't know. Here's the thing. I really want this to Radio Lolo. Doesn't it have a sound to it? Doesn't it? I think it's Radio Lolo. I just feel like that flows. And LA does still have some. There's some really great. Actually, California, I feel like, has some really good radio stations. But I think this is exciting. And I'm going to be building, like, I guess it's not going to show you my, like, behind the scenes. But, yeah, my tags are politics, news, comedy, talk, community. I'd like to do a talk show on it. And I want to just, like, be able to go on. Radio Gaga, exactly. I know. California Bay Area had a great station called K-Fog. Oh, my God, yes. Now a station in New York is my replacement, 107.1 The Peak. I love radio. I think radio is really wonderful. I always enjoyed going on the radio when I was young. I'm excited about this, Grace Lisa. And you know what? The thing about this is, much like Stevie Wayne in her Lighthouse, she just speaks into the void. She just goes ahead and says, it doesn't matter to her who's listening, what's happening. There's music, and then there's her talking, and I just want that kind of vibe. I want to be able to, in the middle of the night, maybe I just like want to get on and talk about, and maybe read an article, right? Or talk about something. I just think, and what I want to do, what I'll be able to do is take the shows, like this show, take the recording of the show, the audio recording, and upload that as an episode. So my plan for right now is to upload the episodes of the different, I think that's my phone. Upload the episodes of the different Wake and Bakes and, whatever. I don't know about trivia, but, definitely the Wake and Bake. And have that as part of the content of the radio station and freshen it up, right? So like Saturday morning, this episode will be available, God willing, on Radio Lolo, right? And then Mondays will be posted so that Tuesday morning, if you wanted, like, I get a good feeling about this too. I'm telling you, there's something like it just clicked last night. Because I've been playing with this idea for a really long time. And it's not the perfect solution, right? This is internet radio. Live 365 is the hosting platform. It's not ideal, but it's a start. And that's all I need to kind of work out the issues. As you know, I have always tremendous issues with my technology, etc. So this is yet another test of my ability. But yeah, I've been looking into like, how do you create an AM station? How do you create an FM station? You know, internet radio, what's the pros and cons and doing all that? So I have a little bit of idea, and the FCC is just not handing out a lot of new licenses for AM radio stations, or FM for that matter. Like they shut down, licenses once in a while, I guess, or something. But right now they're not issuing new ones. So it's harder to go through that route. And that might require different equipment. For right now, I'm able to do basic things with what we've got. So I don't know. I'm really kind of... Oh, wait. Are you hearing static? Wait. No static. IP. What's that mean? Sometimes you just need the tech to catch up to your ideas. Exactly. I feel like... No. So here's the thing, Grace Lisa. That's a really good question. So Live 365 will do the licensing for you for music. That's one of the benefits of this platform versus other platforms. So what I have to do is find, the music that I want to put on, and I'm still under certain copyright and other things. So I have to really be careful with whatever content is on here. But it is possible to do it, and Live 365 is a more comprehensive platform in order to do that licensing. They handle some of that for you. So again, not going to be an ideal solution, not going to be the perfect, but don't let the perfect be the enemy of the good. That's what I say. I certainly live my life that way. Don't let perfect be the enemy of the good. So I don't know. I'm really excited. IP. That's right. No static at all. That's right. That song, FM. I forgot about that song. So I'm excited. Welcome to Radio Lolo. Welcome to our listeners on Radio Lolo. Oh my God, you guys, I'm going to have so much fun with this radio station. I can't even tell you. I could not go to sleep last night. Once I started, I couldn't change. I really couldn't. So anyway, thank you for indulging my little fantasies. My fantasies of becoming Stevie Wayne. Now I just need to find a lighthouse. I need to find a lighthouse where I can set up my radio station and be a recluse living in the top, just like her. I'm going to be just like her. She was alone. Like literally, she's totally me. Like we're the same person. She has a kid, right? Single mom, right? Not dating, just alone. Always kind of off on her own. That's me. That's totally fucking me. And yet she does this 24-hour radio station, right? That's her connection with the outside world. I fucking love it. I'm in. I don't know. I can't wait. I'm doing a lot of reading on this platform and other things about trying to learn, what is it that I really do need to make this something people would even want to listen to or have in the background. Because that's, how I love being in the background. I love that. I do. So again, thank you for indulging. Thank you for coming to my indulging kind of thing. Let me go back to the. Let's go ahead and listen to this
Metro, ready
Friend.
for this weekend's big winter storm. De-icer trains are already spraying anti-icing fluid on the third rail to keep people moving when temperatures drop. Our nation's capital, it could see its heaviest snow in more than 10 years. And the nation's capital is not alone. There's also more cities in the mix. The Mid-Atlantic's first flakes will start Saturday afternoon as snow moves in from the west into Virginia and West Virginia. Here's a look at our last 12-inch or more snowstorm. You have to go back all the way to 2016 for Philly as well as our nation's capital, but also back to 2021, the year 2022 for Boston and New York City. Let's take a look at what we're calling for in terms of that snowfall forecast. The greatest snow continues to trend farther north with this as 10+ states have the potential of getting about a foot of snow or more. Of course, what we've been talking about is that warm nose nudging on in, so could there be some impacts in terms of some sleet mixing on in with that snow, and then that'll cut down into the amount of snow that we are going to accumulate. Jumping right into it with our future radar. So this is into tomorrow morning. Before we get there, temperatures are going to continue to plummet. Some of the coldest air of the season working in across the mid-Atlantic as well into the northeast. You have this Arctic air that's rushing on in. That initial thump of snow is felt across the Ohio Valley as well as to the mid-Atlantic, where you have snow showers tomorrow afternoon into the evening.
And that cold air is going to be sinking south all the while. I think tomorrow when people wake up in the Northeast and New England, they're really going to feel this Arctic air that we've not felt so far this season. So then the thought might be, how are we even going to get snow in this environment? Well, the mid-levels are a little warmer, got a lot of moisture with it.
Right, and then with those temperatures, that just allows that snow to stack up and be a fluffy snow at that. Going forward here is into Sunday. I think it's going to be in that Sunday time frame. There will be a couple hours there where that snow is really going to come down at a good clip. We could have some higher snowfall rates. This takes us through Sunday afternoon and into the evening. There you can see some of that change in air mass afternoon and into the evening. There you can see some of that change in air mass working in through Richmond, Washington, D.C., and Philly, where ice is then going to be our attention as we turn our attention to that probability there.
Lower Hudson Valley and North Jersey could be a different precip type than you see on the 95 corridor. It's going to be that close. A razor thin change between what we might see in New York City and what we might see farther inland or even into New Jersey. I mean, the storm, and I guess not too confident to say it's going to be all snow or all sleet, but I think a mix is healthy to approach a storm like this. But Sunday is going to be an interesting day. I think bottom line, we can all agree, though, it's going to be cold.
Well, yes, we do want to hunker down. I mean, you don't want to go out with temperatures that are going to be that cold. We continue into Monday, and for Richmond, off to New York, things move out of here. But then we're in the Northeast, where we continue to accumulate with that snow on the backside of that area of low pressure.
Definitely. No, we need a global trade show on the Radio Lolo. I'm not kidding.
Benchmark, the 70-40 line. If you're rooting for a snowstorm, you want that area of low pressure to be as close as that as possible. And as I'm looking at the ensemble members where they're putting the low.
Here we go. Here's my dream, okay? Let me tell you my dream, Christina. My dream is that we have segments, right? So we have the trade segment where, Lee calls in and for 20 minutes gives us an update on trade or whatever, and then we have, Griffey can come in and do a little bit on kind of food markets and, grocery and all that kind of information. Of course, Gal Squad. Come on now. Gal Squad. Each Gal Squad member can have their own show where they can talk about whatever they want. Oomph can do his music. Carla can do her cooters, but we can't, I have to figure out the whole swearing thing. That I've got to figure out. I've got to figure that out because you can't really swear on internet radio. Thank you, Lee. I love you so much. I think it would be fun. And I don't want to, I want to walk before I run. I really do. I know that, I can get real excited about things. But it would be so good, right? Wouldn't it be fun? And it doesn't have to, it's our station. So we don't have to, meet anybody's kind of, schedule. Yeah, I need a longer beep. We're going to need a bigger beep. Because I don't think you're not supposed to swear on internet radio either. So we'll figure that out. I'm actually going to work on that today because I'm going to take this recording and see if it's easy to bleep out the the bad words. I mean, apparently you can, but it's just not, like they can take you down just for kind of obscenity and stuff like that. But technically, internet radio stations are not administered by the FCC. So that's one thing. So internet radio at this point in time is not overseen by the FCC. It's independent. So the station, or actually the Live 365, the platform will monitor and moderate your content if you get out of line. So I'm not totally out. I'm not under Brandon. Let's put it that way. I don't have to deal with Brandon Carr at this point in time, but I'm sure that's an eventuality. We're gonna start carrying guns. No, I don't want to. I had dinner with a friend who does trade tariffs from Canadian border, classifying new products. It was new to me. She used to work as a guard, but transitioned. Oh, when they were going to start carrying guns. Oh, I see. Okay. Is there any delay? It went over my head. What? You can't swear on internet radio. I hear people cursing on the time. Well, you can, because it's not the same oversight as the FCC. I think it's that you label it. So I'm looking for how to label my radio station too, that it should be 18 and over. So I'll figure that out, and then I'll figure out if I can, because I'd like to be able to beep things anyway. It'd be nice to have that flexibility. So I'm going to try and Carla Comedy Hour. Oh my God, Lee, what a great idea. Carla, we signed you up. I'm sorry. And any one of you, anybody who has I want to do something and let's talk. I mean, I think it would be fun to try. It doesn't have to be forever. It doesn't have to be a regular segment either. It could be just a one-off where you're like, I want to talk about this, or we can have, and also you can do a call-in show, which I want to then work on, kind of a call-in type show would be kind of fun. I don't know. I love radio. I've always loved radio. I used to have to go on the radio when I ran organizations, for fundraising and stuff. So I would always be the one that would go to the radio stations for those kind of silly morning stuff. I fucking loved it. So, oops, I just swore. Anyways, so yeah, that is kind of where I'm at. Let me just get rid of this right now because it's bothering me. You're so bothering me. Let's look at the fire for a second. Let's see. GP can do, yes. GP can do the future show. He can do the tomorrow show. I can't see my chat. I'm so sorry. If Lee becomes a big radio star, she can tell her boss to F off. Meetings. Yeah, I don't know if this is gonna be a moneymaker, but it could launch some careers though. Wouldn't that be great? Oh my God. Movie reviews. Max's movie reviews. Oh my God. Oh, you could record it with a fake voice, Max. You don't even have to use your real voice. We could do that. Documentary reviews. Oh my gosh. How to use a glue gun in times of need by J Rance. She's the glue gun warrior. We already have the theme song. Jay, we already have the theme song. She's a glue gun warrior. Oh my God, Neil, you are a news person. Oh shit, I totally forgot. Neil was a news editor. He was a newspaper man. Neil, you have to be involved in this. I'm sorry. You can do the Canadian news show. We can do Canadian hour. We could do Australia hour. We could do UK hour. Oh my God. Carol Baker all the time. The Carol Baker channel. Max, you can run the Carol Baker channel. I love this. Oh my God, you guys have the best idea. News director. Were you news director? You were a news director, right? You're my news director. No, Neil's like, no, I'm not. You're news director. You're my pretend news director. No, let's not. I'm going crazy and I need to stop myself. But we're going to figure this out. I'm going to walk before I run. Don't worry. I'm going to take it. I know I seem really excited. Okay, I seem really, really super excited. News director of editorial policy, Neil. Yes, we can play movies on this. No, because it's radio. There's no visual. It's just radio. It's just radio. I have my own website but I still think we can't play movies because you're still subject to copyright if you broadcast something. So yeah, you just don't. Discord is like private, offline. It's not technically distributing. My segment would be why math is awesome. Yes, and all cops are bastards. Yes, meowing. You could do. Oh my God, you could do all the science stuff. You could do science. You could talk about what's happening in the trans community. I'm being serious right now. I'm not fucking around. You could talk about what's happening in the activism community. Like, people could talk about what's happening in activism in their regional area. I'm telling you right now. Come on, guys. This is going to be fun. We're going to fuck this up. We're going to have some fun with this. I don't care. It's not going to all happen at once. It doesn't even have to, but I fucking love it. I love it. I miss the glue gun part. Stepped away. Yeah, we have your theme song already. Jay, we already have the theme song. Yes, she's a glue gun warrior. I mean, I think that's technically someone else's song, but you can sample it, I think. I think that's legal. Yeah, I think that's legal. I'll just record the Fourth Amendment. Yes! Oomph! That's it! You have such a... If you haven't heard Oomph tell me to shut up, I don't have that clip right now, but I'm going to tell you right now, which I made him record. I made him record that because I thought it was so funny. And it's a great little, shut up, Lolo. His voice is really nice. So I would listen to him read the Fourth Amendment over and over again. I really do. Oomph, I know you don't want to do that, but I'm telling you, you've got a great voice for radio. You have a great face. But I'm telling you right now, we're just talking about radio. And you have a great... Grace Lisa is going to do the local missing livestock report. Yes! Think about the comedy we can do. You have a face. No, I didn't say that, did I? No, I didn't. I said the other thing. So, but yes, you should... yes, and yes. Oh my God. I'm absolutely in love with this. I'm so excited. The Fourth Amendment. All right. I want to actually do something productive today instead of just like, talking about my silly little radio station that I'm so excited about. I can't even tell you. I'm so excited about it. All right. Here we go. Oh, whoops. Okay. That's fine. Okay, I don't want you to tell me what I'm thinking, yeah. And then also, we did look up the beet juice. Where is it? The beet juice product for for ice melt. Definitely, it's hard for me to tell which brands are worth, going towards. But if you do like beet ice melt, and search that in your search bar, you may find some things that are an alternative to salt or certainly kitty litter and all that shit. God damn, that really used to bother me so much. So we do have a couple of stories today. I guess I could put this in the corner. No one puts baby in a corner. Okay, I'm going to do that. Oops, that's not it. Okay, that's actually fine. And I'm going to do that. I'm going to make this a little smaller. Let's put the storm in the... No one puts baby in a corner. I do. I put baby in a corner. Okay, this is a story I found yesterday, or maybe, I don't know, did someone, I don't know where I found this. I apologize. I'm an idiot. Oh my God. Okay. Sorry, I haven't had much sleep, so clearly I'm a little loopy. Oh, shit. By any chance, did you catch AOC and the CBS guy? No, and I'm so mad. We missed all the good interactions. I'll play that. I will definitely play that. Beet ice melt. Yeah, beet ice. In more ways than one, right? It is a good pun, isn't it? I didn't even think of that. Okay, so this is a story I found from yesterday. No, 2 days ago. 2 days ago. All right, this is from Alternet. I don't know what that means, but anyway, come on, be serious. Judge doubts Trump's White House demolition is legal. Oops. Oops. A federal judge appeared to side with plaintiffs suing to stop President Donald Trump's construction of his planned $400 million White House ballroom. That's according to a Thursday article in CNN, which reported that U.S. District Judge Richard Leone, an appointee of former President George W. Bush, was skeptical of the Trump administration's claims that the ballroom was being built in accordance with existing laws. The network reported that Leone frequently admonished the administration from the bench while responding to arguments from White House lawyers. The nonprofit group National Trust for Historic Preservation in the United States sued the Trump administration in December in response to Trump bulldozing the East Wing of the White House to make room for the 89,000 square foot ballroom. Plaintiffs are seeking Judge Leone to issue a preliminary injunction that would halt all construction until both Congress and the public had been given a chance to weigh in on significant renovations to a historic property. Trump administration lawyer Yakov Roth argued that an existing federal law allows for the president to make expenditures of tax dollars to update the White House. However, Judge Leone countered that the law cited is only for, quote, very small-sized projects like air conditioning systems and lights. It's not for $400 million worth of destruction and construction, Leone said. Roth pushed back, citing former President Gerald Ford's addition of a swimming pool in Cabana, as well as First Lady Melania's Trump tennis pavilion. There's a tennis pavilion there? What? I didn't even know we had a tennis pavilion. What? I don't know what happened, Jim. You're in Baltimore today. Oh, God. Good morning, Jim. Let's see. The CBS thing was good. Good. I'm in Baltimore today. They have a Nick Shirley spotting. He's trying to pull a Minneapolis on Baltimore. Good luck with that. He's the skinny Nick Sorter. Just tell him that. Tell him that from me, Jim. Another chud tried to make a scene at a library there yesterday. Oh, my God. Thank you, Mike Flynn, for all these digital soul lists that you've given us over the years. Thanks for that. The timing of the teardown was interesting. A tantrum after No Kings protest. Yep, Grace Lisa, you're so right. And Karen Diggs Retro says, oh, Max, you have to shovel your roof? Be careful, please. That's so dangerous. Now you guys are making me not want to move back to, like, the Northeast or North. I have a big bottle of Super Beet capsules that I stopped taking after I got kidney stones from them. 1,000 milligrams each. I can mail them somewhere. I think they're still around because it hurt to toss them. No, Karen, I was talking about melt for getting rid of ice on your sidewalk. Like literally ice melt. You know, like they use beets as the ingredient to do ice melt instead of like chemicals. That's what we were talking about. We're not advising anyone take beet pills or anything. You talk to your doctor about anything you put in your body, for crying out loud. Don't listen to me. Jesus, I'm the last person you should listen to. I have no idea. I eat Cheetos for dinner sometimes. I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, here we go. But Judge Leone scoffed at that argument and argued that those projects were in a different ballpark than Trump's demolition of the entire East Wing. Oh, fucking hell. Quote, the 77 Gerald Ford swimming pool? You compare that to tearing down and building a new East Wing? Come on, be serious. Leone said, that's in the court records. While Leone didn't issue a ruling from the bench, he suggested he would issue a final decision in the coming weeks. Oh, look at that. This is 200. We the people booze. Fantastic. I love it. All right, that's it for that. Let's see what else we got. We got shit. So many things. Okay. Hold on. Come on. Boop. All right, that's a lot. Oh, yeah, I wanted to read this. This was Ruth Ben-Ghiat from a couple of days ago, but I had intended to read this to us, so I'll do it now. Oh, I have to check on chat. Gosh, it was really hard to do this. I do love pickled. I love a beet salad. Can we have Moink commercials? No. Unfortunately, let me say this. That here's one of the drawbacks with this radio station is that you are forced to accept their ads. That's part of the, agreement. So it's not, again, this is not ideal to me. Like, ideally, I would like to just do my own ads, which are ads for nothing, like silly ads. But that's, that's all. I don't know. But that's the only problem. My urologist didn't even know beets could cause kidney stones, I suppose because they didn't have 1,000 milligram supplements when she was in medical school. I doubt you can eat enough beets to form stones. That's probably true. In Portlandia, oh my God. Hi, Mom said. How do they make it not red and stainy? Portland is beet skit. Satirical moink. Yes, that's what I would love to do is and a dispensary sponsor. I would totally do that. That was Borio, wasn't it? For what? Doing kidney stones? Sounds like a misuse of beets. Oh, they use it. Yeah, not just beet juice. No. It's literally not purple. It's not beet colored that I can tell from online. It was. Oh, did Horio went into a library? So technically Alex Jones could run ads on. Well, I mean, no, it depends on what Live 365 is going with. So I don't think it's Alex Jones, but we'll figure it out. Don't worry. Don't get all excited. Portlandia did an excellent beat skit. I love Portlandia. Put a bird on it. Is one of my favorite things. Just put a bird on it. Bobo and I say that to each other all the time. Me too. Cannot see this. Oh, I know. What do I do that? That's perfect. Weren't those the pills promoted by Dana Loesch from the NRA? What do beet pills have to do with gun ownership? That's what I'm wondering about. I don't understand. Weren't the Portlandia did an excellent? Oh yeah, okay. I really want to see that. And then let me read this, and then I want to play the. I'll find the clip of Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez as well and play that because I actually haven't seen the whole clip. I have a little bit of a trigger when it comes to CVS Health. I have to be honest with you, but I'll overcome it for this moment. All right. The autocratic rationales behind Trump's Greenland fixation. Ruth Ben-Ghiat. We love Ruth Ben-Ghiat. All right. Where did she start? Okay, here we go. A little bigger so maybe you can see it. Autocrats thrive on chaos and disruption, even if they claim they are bringing stability to the nation. I wrote in a November essay about how chaos is a feature and not a bug of autocratic governance. They specialize in doing unexpected things, some of which were previously unthinkable, and in shaking up the system in the interest of pushing through their agendas and consolidating their personal power. A few months later, the Dump administration surprised the world by capturing Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro and claiming Venezuela's oil for America. The operationally flawless and completely illegal extraction left trigger-happy administration officials and their leader feeling invincible, and now they have set their sights on Greenland, which Trump vows he will obtain for the United States one way or another. It's easy to consider this threat as the latest and weirdest fixation of a mad dictator. In Nobel Prize-winning economist Paul Krugman's words, Trump has said it is a psychological necessity to have complete and total control of Greenland. In a message to Norway's prime minister, he said that he no longer felt obliged to think purely of peace because he did not get the Nobel Peace Prize. So file this under the exhaustive and exhausting category of aggrieved autocrat vendettas against the world. Yet the quest to own Greenland has rationales and constituencies that must be taken seriously. All of them reflect a worldview in which the strong man has the right to take what he wants, and the weak deserve to be dominated and exploited. Why should natural resources essential for the United States be wasted on tiny and unimportant Greenland? Once climate change escalates, the faster the better. For plunder purposes, more bounty will be revealed. As Trump's Arctic glaciers promises, quote, opportunity and abundance, and the liberation of 13% of the world's undiscovered oil, 30% of its undiscovered natural gas, and now buried gold, diamonds, and uranium, which gold is apparently making a little bit of a spike today. Scientist Dr. Neil Shubin has stated that this campaign is also about legitimizing climate change denial, getting more people on board with an extraction without consequences mentality, and gaining access not just to buried precious substances, but also an underwater mountain range, the Lomonosov Ridge, that is a gateway to the ocean floor, the largest piece of the earth that's up for grabs right now. Trump is targeting 2 of 3 countries having claims to it, Canada and Denmark, by virtue of Greenland, and align with the third, Russia. Techno-fascist fantasies of freedom and racial purities. That sounds like a song, Ruth. Greenland has long been targeted by techno-fascists such as Elon Musk and Peter Thiel and their political proxies and operators, J.D. Vance, as an ideal laboratory for the network state, a state where billionaires and oligarchs can live free from the laws, regulations, and taxes imposed by traditional governments. There's your new world order, folks. Fascism has always attracted people with utopian promises of national communities cleansed of all traditional restraints and norms. For this tribe, the old-school route to financial freedom by making use of the offshore system to store and launder profits is not enough. They want to construct a new and pure society, quote, in which any restrictions on American oligarchy, any oversight, any democratic checks, any hurdles whatsoever, but by no means limited to Greenland, as Casey Michael writes. Fantasies of racial purity also factor in here, along with libertarian and neoliberal philosophies taken to an extreme. As Nina Burley reminds us, Julius Evola, a fascist who appeared to other fascists in the 1930s as too extreme, has become the muse of Musk and others for lauding Greenland as the primordial homeland of a highly civilized white race. That's a quote. For today's fascists, the United States poses challenges. Even if you deport 15 million people of color, so many remain. A Greenland governed by white supremacists offers a fresh start for the white race. Since the start of this authoritarian administration, I have argued that Trump is in office in part to solve Vladimir Putin's problems. That includes removing deterrents to his expansion into Europe and Eurasia. NATO is the primary deterrent, and so creating a crisis for this transatlantic alliance benefits Russia. Breaking down democratic defenses has been the overarching goal of the Kremlin's hybrid warfare against the West. Trump has made himself a vehicle of that mission. This hostility to European democracies is why Trump immediately retorted that he would impose heavy tariffs against European nations that opposed his moves on Greenland. Threatening war on an autonomous territory within Denmark, a founding NATO ally, has one more advantage from the autocratic point of view. It's no secret that Trump and his enablers have been trying to transform the powerful U.S. military into an authoritarian institution. That means not only banning democratic cultures and values, diversity, meritocracy, critical thinking, nonpartisanship, obedience to the Constitution, but corrupting service members by asking them to do things they never imagined. This is the Patriots as enemy combatants, military juntas, and giving them license to commit atrocities. Israel, Russia, Syria under Assad, the fascist, etc. The U.S. military is being prepared for such tests. Los Angeles in June was the trial run with a battalion of Marines deployed for use against protesters. Now the United States Northern Command has placed 1,500 members of the 11th Airborne Division on alert for deployment, supposedly to Minnesota. It is notable that this is a highly specialized force trained for Arctic warfare and stationed in Alaska. Minneapolis is cold, but Greenland has Arctic conditions. The United States has had troops in Greenland since World War II and keeps a small missile defense base there. But here we are talking about a potential invasion or special forces lightning seizure, which, like the Venezuela operation, would require killing people. In this case, civilians or state security forces of a democratic NATO ally. This would break the military as a democratic institution, opening the way to more moral bankruptcy of the kind we see in the armed forces that serve dictators. As we see, there is much to gain for the cause of autocracy and lawlessness by claiming Greenland for America. A committee of vultures may be circling Greenland, as tech journalist Gil Duran writes, but it is also the remnants of democratic America and democratic unity in Europe. this is such a good article. I really recommend everyone read this article. This very much gives me, anyone see Fallout or play the game? I tried to watch Fallout, but there was one injury that really turned me off and I couldn't watch it anymore. Anyway, that was amazing. I love you, Madam Ben-Ghiat. You are amazing. Thank you for putting words to what we are seeing happen. This is something I've been meaning to read to you for a minute, and we never got to it, so I'll do it now. Stars and Stripes. This is a Stars and Stripes article. Oh my God, I'm sorry. This is from the 22nd, so a couple days ago. Let me check in with my chat. What a bunch of weirdos. I'm a dictator. I'm a dictator. They didn't remove the asbestos before they demolished the East Wing, and then they dumped it on a public golf course. That's weird. Yeah, it was Horeo. I call him Horeo. Oreo Express is an old convoy. He's a white supremacist streamer out of Fresno, of all places. Go figure. He looks like he's out of... Sorry, I have friends in Fresno. I'm not trying to diss Fresno. But you do have a white supremacist problem and a serial killer problem in Fresno. I'm just saying, it's not like you didn't know this. So, come on. All right. Malcolm Nance. Hi, SB. How are you? Tom, Minnesota general strike today. Yes, negative 20 degrees. No work, no school, no shopping. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. You got to love it when the weather helps you do what you need to do. SB says Malcolm Nance said last year to watch for the specific armed force to be deployed, and if it was, it would mean it's for Greenland. Ooh. Picket line the entire length of the Minneapolis airport terminal. Oh my gosh, meowing, that's great. I'm going to find that. I'll find that. I'll find maybe there's some video of that happening. So then maybe there's some video of that happening. Yes. Oh. Itchy. Okay. All right. Let's see. Let's go. Yeah, I wanted to read this from Stars and Stripes. This is from Israeli fire strikes journalists and children on one of Gaza's deadliest days since ceasefire. Mm-hmm. People mourn over the bodies of Palestinian journalists Abshal and Mohammed Keshta, who were killed in an Israeli strike on a vehicle before their funeral at Shifa Hospital in Gaza City on Wednesday, January 21st. Israeli forces on Wednesday killed at least 11 Palestinians in Gaza, including 2 13-year-old boys, 3 journalists, and a woman, hospitals said, on one of the war-battered enclave's deadliest days since the ceasefire began between Hamas and Israel took effect in October. The United States is trying to push the deal forward and implement its challenging second phase. Among the dead were 3 Palestinian journalists who were killed while filming near a displacement camp in central Gaza, a camp official said. Israel's military said it had spotted suspects who were operating a drone that posed a threat to its troops. The 2 boys were killed in separate incidents. In one, a 13-year-old, his father, and 22-year-old man were hit by Israeli drones on the eastern side of the Burej refugee camp, according to officials from Al-Aqsa Martyrs Hospital in the central town of Deir al-Balah, which received the bodies. It wasn't immediately clear whether the 3 had crossed into Israeli-controlled areas. Oh boy. The other 13-year-old was shot by troops in the eastern town of Bani Suhela, Nasser Hospital, and said after receiving the body, in a video circulated online, the father of Muazzam al-Sharafi is seen weeping over it. The boy's mother, Safa al-Sharafi, told the Associated Press that he had left to gather firewood so she could cook. He went out in the morning hungry, she said, tears running down her cheeks. He told me he'd go quickly and come back. Later, Wednesday, an Israeli strike hit a vehicle carrying the 3 Palestinian journalists who were filming a new displacement camp managed by an Egyptian government committee in the Netzarim area, said Mohammed Mansour, the committee's spokesperson. Mansour said the journalists were documenting the committee's work and that the strike occurred about 3 miles from the Israeli-controlled area. He said the vehicle was known to Israel's military as belonging to the committee. Video footage showed the charred and smoking vehicle by the roadside. One journalist killed, Abdul Raouf Shat, was a regular contributor to Agence France-Presse, but he was not on assignment for it at the time, the news agency said. Quote, Abdul was much loved by the AFP team covering Gaza. They remember him as a kind-hearted colleague, the agency said in a statement that demanded a full investigation into his death. According to the Committee to Protect Journalists, more than 200 Palestinian journalists and media workers have been killed in Gaza since the war began in 2023, including visual journalist Mariam Daga, who worked for the AP and other news organizations. Nearly 5 months after the strikes on a hospital that killed Daga and 4 other journalists, the Israeli military says it's continuing to investigate. Aside from rare guided tours, Israel has barred international journalists from entering to cover the war. I'm going to read that again. Aside from rare guided tours, Israel has barred international journalists from entering to cover the war. News organizations relied largely on Palestinian journalists in Gaza as well as residents to show what is happening. Nasser hospital officials also said Wednesday they received the body of a Palestinian woman shot by Israeli troops in the Mawasi area of the southern city of Khan Yunis, which is not controlled by the military. In a separate attack, 3 brothers were killed in a tank shelling in the Bureij camp, according to Al-Aqsa Martyrs Hospital. More than 470 Palestinians have been killed by Israeli fire since the ceasefire took effect on October 10th, according to Gaza's health ministry. At least 77 have been killed by Israeli gunfire near a ceasefire line that splits the territory between Israeli-held areas and most of Gaza's Palestinian population, the ministry says. The ministry, which is part of the Hamas-led government, maintains detailed casualty records that are seen as generally reliable by UN agencies and independent experts. The first phase of the October ceasefire that paused 2 years of war between Israel and Hamas militants focused on the return of all remaining hostages in exchange for the release of hundreds of Palestinian detainees and a partial withdrawal of Israeli forces in Gaza. All but one hostage, living or dead, has been returned to Israel. Ron Gvili, a 24-year-old police officer known as Ronnie, was killed while fighting Hamas militants during the October 17, 2023 attack that started the war. His relatives on Wednesday called again on Israel's government and U.S. President Trump to ensure the release of his remains. We need to continue to amplify Ronnie's voice, explain about him, talk about him, and explain to the world that we, the people of Israel, will not give up on anyone, his mother, Talik Gvili, said. She told the AP the family doesn't really know where he is. Hamas said Wednesday that it has provided all information it has on Gvili's body and the ceasefire mediators, and accused Israel of obstructing search efforts in areas it controls in Gaza. I'm going to read that again. And accused Israel of obstructing search efforts in areas it controls in Gaza. Israel's Air Force carried out multiple strikes Wednesday against sites in southern Lebanon that it said the militant Hezbollah group used to store weapons, and at sites along Lebanon's border with Syria where it said weapons were being smuggled. The military said it struck 4 border crossings in Lebanon's northeastern region of Hermel. Earlier, strikes in 3 villages in southern Lebanon targeted weapons storage facilities Israel's military said it had issued warnings to evacuate. Lebanon's health ministry said 19 people, including journalists, were wounded in the southern village of Kenarit, south of the port city of Sidon. Forgive me for any of my pronunciations. I really apologize in advance. I don't intend to. I try to pronounce them as smoothly as I can. Lebanese officials condemned the strikes in southern Lebanon, which President Joseph Aoun called systematic aggression. In addition, drone strikes on cars in the village of Bazaria and Zarani killed 2 people, according to state-run national news agency. The strikes were the latest in a near-daily Israeli military action. I'm going to read that again. The strikes were the latest in near-daily Israeli military action since a ceasefire more than a year ago ended the 14-month Israel-Hezbollah war. The agreement included a Lebanese pledge to disarm militant groups, which Israel says has not been fulfilled. Oh, wow. Oh, my lordy lord. I'm telling you. I am telling you. Let me take a break. Let me take a break and talk to my friends. Let me take a break. Thank you for letting me read that. I really wanted to read that. Let me see. One of the journalists worked with CBS, Teresa says. Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it's hard to observe without absorbing. I know, and I'm very glad that they mentioned that Israel has kept international journalists out, because I was wondering that. I was wondering if they were letting additional people in. I think they have let in some more aid, but still not what they could do. Let's see, Meowing Star. Someone's playing clown music at the Patriot Front demonstration in D.C. Oh, I can only imagine. No, I'm just kidding. I can't actually imagine. Let me see. What is going on over here? Yeah. Let me see. I will say this. I don't want to make everybody run to a different channel, but Heather Cox Richardson, my girl crush, is having a conversation with Carol Leonnig and Aaron Davis. Speaking of Carol Leonnig. Oh, Crash Patel's going to have a news conference. What the fuck? Oh, he's late. Is he late? Yeah, he's late. Okay, whatever. There we go. Let's see. Patriot Front. I don't know if this guy lets me use his footage, so we're just going to kind of hope a little bit here.
We're not calling themselves America. There was no America before Europeans created it. Now, do I hate other races? Do I want to harm or strip people of their dignity? No. Some of these people, they have already surrendered all of their dignity, so I couldn't if I tried. But we are here to represent our people, and also to say that the interest of our people is totally found in the family and in the womb. And we oppose abortion no matter who or where it happens. But we believe that we're representing solely our nation, and that the life of our nation requires more than just an anti-abortion stance. The life of our nation is being attacked at every point during the lives of our people. Again, it's economic hardship, it's drug abuse, it's gambling, it's broken families, right? It's everything. It's dead end jobs, it's a lack of purpose. Deaths of despair are rampant, right? And people are being driven from their homes, their communities. They're no longer safe. You have our people that are being stabbed to death, and their blood is strewing the bottom of public transit. We can't have this. The life of our nation is in peril. So Patriot Front is here to represent it. How you doing? Do you have any questions? Do you want a flyer? I got one. Oh, good.
Outside of this group here, how large is Patriot Front as a whole?
Bigger every day.
Is that like in the hundreds, thousands?
Wouldn't you like to know?
How can we establish collective identity?
How can we establish collective identity? Well, I think it usually ties into the natural hierarchy of identity. Every person on this earth is a member of you're an individual, a member of a family, a community.
Okay, you get the point. You get the point. You get it. Oh, whoops. Let me get all that off of there. Yeah, wow, Patriot Front. They're so funny. They're such an odd duck, right? Like, they're just like, I don't quite understand. They don't ever seem to complete an event. You know what I mean? Like, there's always the story to me with Patriot Front is it's always them dispersing. You know, like every story I see, every time I see Patriot Front, it's like they're being forced to disperse from whatever it is. They like just got there and they're being asked to leave, you know? And no, Carol Leonnig is not bad. I was just saying people who write books when they know shit and they write books make me mad. Okay. They seem to have taken the day off in support of Minnesota. I know, right? Like, I thought that are they all ICE people? They don't have jobs. They seem like a bunch of, in a U-Haul, they seem like they're a bunch of trust fund babies to me. You know, like that's what I think. I always think of these guys and say, these are all trust fund babies. These are all people that have money from other people giving them to do their little, like, LARP. You know, that's always what I think when I see these folks. Patriot Front. What a joke. Oh, my goodness gracious. Oh, the hypocrisy is mind-blowing. People, okay, let me also have a couple of things. Wake and bake. All right, I do have. Oh, okay. I have a couple of clips that I want to play. Wait, hold on. Oh my God. Okay. I found this one this morning. I thought it was funny. Oh man, come on. Wrong one. Okay. I know, Jesse Waters. Blech. Blech. But, you know, back in the day, let me tell you kids something. Let me tell you kids something you don't know. You think Gavin Newsom's a good troll, blah, blah, blah. Let me tell you, back in the day, this guy was. This guy was. Al Gore, that's right. Al Gore was the scamp back in the day. He would say the stupid shit. He would be the one to be like a teenager, okay? I'm telling you, Al Gore was a troll. He was a troll. I don't know. I don't make the rules. Okay, here we go.
Secretary Howard Lutnick, who was the guy that Gore was getting all worked up about. What happened, Mr. Secretary?
So I wrote an op-ed in.
Let's bring in Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick, who was the guy that Gore was getting all worked up about. What happened, Mr. Secretary?
So I wrote an op-ed in the FT, and it basically said that globalists, you know, offshoring all our manufacturing to cheap labor around the world had failed, and that the World Economic Forum was a failure. But I wrote that op-ed, and so at the end of this lefty, basically a very left set of talks where someone said we need a new form of capitalism, which I think is another way to say communism. And then they let me speak at the end. And I gave a 3-minute talk. And I just talked about my op-ed. And at the end of my talk, one person out of the 200 yelled out, "Boo!" So I look over and I'm like, who booed? And it's Al Gore. And I look at him, I go, really? And he goes, "Boo." And I'm like, it was the greatest honor of my trip to Davos. I mean, what's better than Al Gore, incapable of discourse, incapable of anything? And you all remember that Al Gore told us that by today, in 2025, the whole ice cap would be gone and Greenland would be green.
Now it's red, white, and blue. So the joke's on on Al Gore. So Secretary, tell us, people who've never been to Davos, what's it like? Is Newsom strolling around to the Europeans?
All right. I thought that they were going to actually have more Al Gore, but there you go. Howard Nuttlicker, who is the next door neighbor of Jeffrey Epstein, so a pedophile supporter. Just saying. I'm just saying. I think Howard Nuttlicker could probably be classified as that. I'm sure he borrowed a cup of sugar once in a while. But Jeffrey Epstein's neighbor, Howard Nuttlicker, actually made some pretty bad speeches over in Davos and was a pretty big asshole. So I can understand why he was booed, because his speeches were absolutely disgusting. Let's see. Let me see what else. Hold on. Yeah. Oh my God, they caught the Olympian. Y'all, everybody, they caught the guy. Oh my God, they caught him. We got our man. Let's see. Oh, news to share. Ford Fisher. Let's see. What else? Where is that? Oh, I know where it is. Dun 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 dun. Oh, dropped everything. Oh God, scary. Okay. Dun 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 dun. Wait, where's my playlist? Yes. Oh. That's long. That's long. Oh, I guess I didn't have. Oh, actually, this was
Globalization.
talking about Howard Nutlicker. Howard Lintlicker. This was one clip that I had planned here.
Has failed the West and the United States of America. It's a failed policy. It is what the WEF has stood for, which is export, offshore, far shore, find the cheapest labor in the world, and the world is a better place for it. The fact is, it has left America behind. It has left the American workers behind. And what we are here to say is that America First is a different model, one that we encourage other countries to consider, which is that our workers come first. We can have policies that impact our workers. Sovereignty is your borders. You're entitled to have borders. You shouldn't offshore your medicine. You shouldn't offshore your semiconductors. You shouldn't offshore your entire industrial base and have it be hollowed out beneath you. You should not be dependent for that which is fundamental to your sovereignty on any other nation. And if you're going to be dependent on someone, it darn well better be your best allies. Okay? And so that is a different way of thinking. It is completely different than the WEF. I viewed the WEF as not a flagpole in the middle, but in fact, they are the flag. Whichever way the wind blew, so it blew. You should have solar, you should have wind. Why are you going to do solar and wind? Why would Europe agree to be net zero in 2030 when they don't make a battery? They don't make a battery. So if they go 2030, they are deciding to be subservient to China, who makes the batteries. Why would you do that? Why would the United States of America, which has oil and natural gas, try to convert to all electricity? China does not have oil and natural gas. Electricity and electric cars make perfect sense to them. That is practical and logical. So the point I want to make, and I want people to think about, is that America First is the job of our government to take care of our workers, to make sure their lives are better for it. And then, don't be America alone, right? But be America First. And I would suggest that policy is something for other countries to deeply consider, to take care of their own, and then we will work out wonderful relationships between us.
I'm very struck by and taken by the idea of putting your own country first and considering your own security and resilience. I think it's about 3 years ago now that I gave a speech where I coined the term securonomics, which was all about building security and resilience in your economy. And the days when it didn't matter where things were made and who made them were in the past. And that's become increasingly clear since the pandemic, when we were over-reliant on PPE and medicines from abroad. And then again when Russia invaded Ukraine because of what happened to oil and gas prices. I guess for an economy like the UK, the way in which we will pursue our national interest is going to be different from the way in which the US pursues theirs. You are a much bigger economy, and we can't do everything on our own, nor should we try to, because we'd end up doing nothing well. But we do have real strengths in the UK, in our defence sector, in life sciences, in business and financial services. But we do rely on our allies as well, and even a country as big and as strong as America also relies on its allies. And I guess the sort of area where I think that we do need to sort of continue that dialogue between countries that share each other's values is how we can work together in our mutual interests to advance our values in a very unstable and uncertain world. And you know, if you say, could you picture the world without the US and what would the world be like? Yeah, the world would be a lot poorer and it would be a lot scarier. But you've also got a lot of allies around the world, in the United States, Britain. I hope, I believe, is your strongest ally.
You're
Always
the
has
first to
been
do a
and
deal
always
with us,
will
and we
be.
love you. We do. We do.
Thank you very much. Feeling is mutual, but we do need to think about where the threats are and who our friends are. And I think that's probably more stark for smaller economies. But even for the US, when you think about, I was in the States, as you know, last week for a meeting of G7 plus a few other finance ministers to talk around critical minerals. Now, you do have some reserves of critical minerals, but not everything you need. 90% of your critical minerals at the moment come from the US, from China. You need to wean yourself off those.
Sure.
Yeah, but you won't be able to do that without the help of Canada and Australia and other countries. And so for all of your strengths, we do also need to think how we can preserve some of the things that the US has benefited from in the NATO alliance and the Western alliance, not because it is the benevolent or the right thing to do, but because I profoundly believe it is in your country's national interest. The other thing I just wanted to say, Adam, in terms of sort of building security and resilience, but for my country, it's about our industrial strategy, where we're really focusing on these sectors where we are really good. But we're not going to be a semiconductor superpower in the UK. That's not realistic.
So it
but
seems
we've
like
got friends.
biotech.
Yeah, life sciences, biotech, financial services, which is obviously absolutely crucial for financing things like the exploration for critical minerals and the extraction of those critical minerals. We've got real strength with the London Metal Exchange in London, for example. But although we have some reserves of lithium and tungsten, we're not going to be a big global supplier of critical minerals. So we have strengths. Defence is another one. And our trade strategy is also around our security and resilience, where we are trying, and this is different from the US approach, I absolutely acknowledge that, we are trying to reduce barriers to trade. You know, we've done trade deals this year with you, with India, with Korea, and we're also reducing trade barriers with the EU. There's more that we want to do together between the UK and Canada. We regard it in our national interest to reduce cost of living for people in Britain, but also providing more opportunities for businesses in the UK to then export around the world. And, you know, energy security is important to us as well. We do have some reserves of North Sea oil and gas, and they will be important for many decades to come, but we are a net importer of oil and gas. We do have, because of the shallow waters in our seas, big opportunities around wind technology. We don't have what you have in the US, and so we've got to find our own way to boost our energy security, and we strongly believe that renewables is a really important part of that mix, as is nuclear. There hasn't been sufficient investment in nuclear for a long time. We've signed off Sizewell C, big nuclear reactor, as well as small modular reactors in North Wales. So, you know, that security for us is around energy security, our security through our industrial strategy and our trade strategy as well. So I think a lot of shared analysis of what the problem is. The solution is going to be different in every country, but what I would urge Howard and others in the administration just to think of is how your allies can also help you achieve your objectives, which I think are in your national interest, as well as helping all of the Western world to thrive.
Thank you for that. I mean, I'm no fan of Rachel Reeves, the UK finance minister. Don't get me wrong. You know, like she's not the, she's not, you know, proposing elimination of billionaires or anything of that nature. By quite the contrary, actually. But I do appreciate her calm, kind of addressing Howard Nuttlicker. And the fact that, wow, this guy's really late. I guess Cash must be pooping. I guess that's the only thing I can imagine is that there's a big poop session going on at the FBI. But they caught the Olympian, you guys, very dangerous drug runner, I guess. and snow sledder. No, I don't know what he was. What was he? What was the Olympian? What did he do? What did he do? What did he do? Yeah, shut the fuck up, Howard. That's what she was saying. She was saying, Howard, shut up. You're an idiot. You talk. I mean, he was so insulting. He was saying, you know, they didn't capture that in that little segment, but right before he launches into what he did, he was saying that without the U.S., the world would be nothing. I mean, he literally was saying things as clearly as that. And it was like, it was too much. He's looking for a female vest. He's looking for a youth extra large. I don't get it. Bonfire of the Insecurities. That's what I'm naming this timeline. Reality check. Yeah, I mean, so Rachel Reeves is no hero. Trust me. Okay, she's a fucking capitalist, and you know, whatever. London economics. Yeah, they're the center of economics, but they've got a lot of fucking ghosts in their closet and or skeletons, I guess, and probably some working there. But this is the audacity of the way that all of our administrative officials spoke at Davos. If you watched any of that this weekend, you will hear that, you know, I usually don't feel sorry for people at Davos, okay? But I literally was embarrassed because the way that our administration acted during their speeches. It was absolutely too much. Now, Gavin Newsom. Okay, here's what I'm going to say about Gavin Newsom. I actually have met Gavin Newsom. I know his wife. I worked with her on the film that she produced called Misrepresentation about women in media and politics and, you know, visibility of women, etc. back in the day, long time ago. And so I like her. I love Jennifer. Jennifer is a really nice person. She's really down to earth. She's really she's very invested in women's rights, in raising healthy kids. You know, like she was working on a project around boys and how boys, you know, need to be supported, whatever. I can't remember now what it was called, but so she was really engaged in those conversations. But here's the thing, and Gavin, I've met him at events because I was a fundraising director for the San Francisco Zoo, so I had a chance to meet him a couple times. And very nice, but very much like you see on TV. Like, he's pretty much the way you see him on TV when you meet him, you know, when he's introduced to you. He's like, you know, he acts interested and stuff like that, whatever. And generally, you know, Gavin's a Democratic politician. So for many parts of it, I appreciate what he does. Now, what he seems to have been doing in the last few years, especially, and probably always, is turning and a couple of different things. First of all, within the state of California, as governor, he's vetoed and threatened to veto trans rights bills, things that protect trans rights, which is important and certainly in this state enjoys a support that it should. In fact, it should be unanimous, but here we are. And he has inexplicably, to me, vetoed and other things. And then also has been somewhat notorious around cleaning up the unhoused and really being very unsupportive of ways to really help people who might be in crisis or other things. He's more about the cleanup and things like that. So he's got some really major showstoppers for me. And, you know, I was even just a few months ago, I was more like, well, if he's the nominee, I'm going to vote for him, blah, 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 even though I have these other concerns. No, now it's gotten to the point where I'm really going to have, I don't know if I can vote for him. I really don't, because he just won't stop. So I think that, you know, he needs to change his stance publicly, loudly, with action and words around supporting trans rights and leading the way in this country for legislation and support and vocal advocacy for our community, the community, our communities, all of our communities. He represents all of our communities. So that's one. He also needs to be much more people focused on what his solutions may or may not be for the unhoused and who's working on it. And if he really cared about it, then he would put more energy and brains. You know, California is supposed to have a bunch of brains. Well, where's the brains that can help do like a human-centered design for the unhoused and crisis intervention, right? So there's so many things that he is capable and could do and would align with democratic principles. But for whatever reason, he's adopted these fucked up views. Then on top of that, because it's like, hold my beer, he also then is engaging with all of these right-wing media personalities. Oh, here we go. Here's Crash Patel in front of his private plane. Is that his private plane? What the fuck? Okay, I'm going to turn that down a little bit. We'll turn that off until they... Oh, is she? Nobody can hear you. Oh, okay. I guess somebody can hear. Okay. Okay, so Gavin. The other thing is courting, like going on Theo Vaughn, going on Joe Rogan, going on... did he do something with Nick Fuentes, or is he doing something with Nick Fuentes? I have no idea. All of the things, Ben Shapiro, all the things. And here's my stupid take on what I think Gavin is doing, is that he thinks that by adopting some of the mannerisms of the Trump MAGA kind of, I don't care what anybody thinks, meh. I think he's really leaning into that. And actually, I don't hate that, because it really just kind of flips the script on people that are... Oh, wait. Don't say anything yet, shithead.
Mess this up. You got everybody? All right, good morning, everybody. I think it's still morning, right? My name is Kash Patel. I'm the director of the FBI. Today, we are here because of President Trump's incredible leadership and commitment to supporting law enforcement across the country and around the world. We are here today to announce another record historic achievement because of law enforcement partnerships across America and across the globe come together to fight crime in all corners of the earth. Today, we are announcing a capture of another FBI's most and none of this would be possible without the tremendous leadership of Attorney General Pam Bondi and the Department of Justice and our partners and prosecutors at the United States Attorney's Office here in LA and our Los Angeles field office. Here you'll see many of our brave partners, including the Commissioner of the RCMP, the Chief of Police of the LAPD, our LA field office, ADIC, along with our partners from DEA and CBP and more. This is what a united front looks like. And just to tell you how bad of a guy Ryan Wedding
is, in LA?
He went from an Olympic snowboarder to the largest narco trafficker in modern times. He is a modern day El Chapo. He is a modern day Pablo Escobar. And he thought he could evade justice. But these brave men and women put together a prosecution package, put together an investigative package, put together an operations strategy. And here we are today, bringing him to justice for trafficking hundreds of kilos of cocaine and also for the murder of innocent civilians. This individual and his organization and the Sinaloa cartel poured narcotics into the streets of North America and killed too many of our youth and corrupted too many of our citizens. And that ends today. I also want to have a tremendous shout out to the government of Mexico.
He 100%
President Sheinbaum,
seems jacked up
Secretary
to me.
Harfouche, and the military and law enforcement officers in Mexico worked hand in glove with our teams on the ground there to apprehend
And
last
yes,
night in
meowing,
Mexico
he did
City,
say,
Ryan
let's
Wedding.
try not to
I
fuck
was
this up
privileged to be
or mess
there
this
on a
up or
previously
whatever.
planned trip, and this was a great operation that came together through interagency success because no one behind me and to the side of me cares about credit. They care about putting away the bad guys and safeguarding our communities. That is the leadership that President Trump has brought to the presidency. That is the support that he has brought to law enforcement from coast to coast. And I just can't say how thankful I am to be a small part of this and lead the FBI. These men and women do the hard work. But when you go after a guy like Ryan Wedding, it takes a united front. And that's what you're seeing here. You're seeing global partnerships from coast to coast. I want to give a special shout out to our ambassador in Mexico, Ambassador Ron Johnson, quarterbacked this effort for us from Mexico.
Isn't
for
Pablo
a
Escobar
year
the
plus.
the
as soon as he got to
the
post
modern
at our
day
new embassy
Pablo
compound
Escobar?
there, he
Like,
made
he's
this
not-
a priority.
I mean, I
and
guess
he
he's
came
dead,
through.
but whatever.
This is what leadership looks like. And this is a historic 2025 year the FBI is having. To put it in perspective, the FBI has had 67,000 arrests this year alone. That is a 200% increase. The FBI has captured 6 of the top 10 most fugitives on our board. The FBI has also seized enough fentanyl to kill 150 million Americans, a 31% increase. The FBI has arrested 35% more espionage corrupt actors from China, Russia, the DPRK, and Iran. The FBI has found and identified 6,000 children that were missing. That is up 22%. All of these historic record-breaking numbers lead to another historic record-breaking number brought to you by President Trump's leadership. That is a 20% decline in the murder rate in the United States of America. That is an all-time record for the modern era. Our communities are safeguarded by these men and women. We are thankful to be partnered with the Department of Justice and the relentless efforts to safeguard our communities by Attorney General Pam Bondi and Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. But we're not done today. We're going to get back on the plane, and we've captured and apprehended another top 10 fugitive while we were in Mexico, and we're going to head east and hand him over to local law enforcement authorities. I also want to give a huge shout out to state and local law enforcement. This work is not possible at all without them on the front lines every single day. They are the greatest partners we could ever have, and thank God we have a president who backs the blue. And that is what results look like. Personally, for me at the FBI, I want to thank our hostage rescue team. I want to thank our special forces, our special flight operations unit. I want to thank our headquarters component, our LA field office. This was a enterprise-wide success. The moving pieces to pull this off and apprehend one of the world's most wanted criminals and bring him to justice in the United States of America can only be done when you have leadership from the top with President Trump, the Attorney General, and all these great leaders here. I'm going to turn it over to the Assistant Director in charge of the Los Angeles Field Office, Akil Davis, for some more comments on the case itself and the investigation. Thanks, Les.
You're kidding me. He's getting back on the plane to go catch another one person and turn them over to the local authorities. What's going on? What is he spending taxpayer dollars on?
FBI's Los Angeles field office. We told you in November we would find Mr. Wedding, and today that day has arrived. The long arm of the law extends beyond our borders. This marks the 500th capture of an FBI top 10 fugitive since its inception 75 years ago. I want to congratulate the devoted team effort that led to this capture. Today is a great day for the FBI and for our partners here today, specifically our partners at the RCMP, the LAPD, and the DEA, and so many other agencies at every level. But it's also a good day for the victims of this case. Ryan Wedding tormented several people and several families that will never be the same. But today, they get the justice that they sought. Investigators worked tirelessly for well over a year to find Mr. Wedding, where he will face federal prosecution. As you know, Mr. Wedding and others are charged for their roles in a transnational organized crime network, shipping massive amounts of cocaine, approximately 60 metric tons, through Southern California on its way to Canada. Mr. Wedding is also wanted for orchestrating multiple murders of victims and government witnesses. In addition to the massive manhunt that went into apprehending Mr. Wedding, we worked with State Department to offer rewards, and the Treasury's Office of Foreign Asset Control, which imposed crushing sanctions in this case. This case is also being worked under the auspices of the Homeland Security Task Force here in Los Angeles. I'd like to provide a few details to illustrate the sheer work that has gone into this case. We've arrested 36 people for their role in this organization. Again, we've worked with our Canadian partners, our Mexican partners, our partners in Colombia and the Dominican Republic. The Treasury Department has sanctioned 19 people, including Ryan Wedding himself. We've seen mountain of drugs, cash, weapons. We seized the Mercedes-Benz, estimated over $15 million. We seized dozens of motorcycles worth approximately $40 million and other valuable artwork and jewelry. Ryan Wedding will be held in custody over the weekend and is anticipated to have...
I think Ryan got ripped off. $14 million for a Mercedes-Benz? An overlay of a group of peacocks. I should do that. I'll find that, Grace Lee said. That's a great idea for an overlay. Sounds like a candidate for a future pardon from Clump. Yeah, exactly. And yes, J. Rand's called it. Cash is on his way to Nashville to get a little Nashville nookie from his girlfriend / singing star who gets Secret Service protection. Yep, Cash got in trouble for giving his girlfriend access to his plane, I guess, and maybe Secret Service protection, asking people to protect her or something like that, which is very much not legal. And you're not supposed to do that. Yeah, but I need a group of peacocks. NY Times had a scary... I don't think we need to go on much more with this. NY Times had a scary article about the FBI under Cash the day before yesterday. People need to... I think I might have that, Teresa, because I think I might have stolen that from when you did. Lee, he's a Canadian from Thunder Bay. Is he eligible? Wait, if the Honduran pres can be pardoned, I guess. Oh, yeah, anybody. He'll pardon anyone. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Let me see. I want to see if they ask Cash. I want to see if they ask Cash any questions. No. Okay, they're actually what I'll do is just let them run, because if it looks like they go to questions, I might try to catch that, but otherwise we can just continue with our important work. You put it in Signal, you're the best. You're the best. You're the best. I'm sure I have it in my bookmarks, but of course I'm not going to find it that fast. Okay, yeah. Do. Lee, I love you so much. I think I started a radio station. That's what I told my friends last night. Okay, wait, where is it, Teresa? In Signal? I don't see it. Shit. Maybe my signal is delayed. Do. Scooba-la-dooby-doo. Yeah. Do. That's what this is trying to distract from. I bet. Teresa, Cashy wants to keep his cushy job. He really does need that job, right? Like, he really needs to keep that job. I don't know. That's what this is trying to distract from. Neil, if someone pays the pardon fee, should be good to go. Yeah, it really is. I don't know how much they're going for these days, but has anyone watched Bingo Bongo now that he's back on his podcast? I watched part of the first episode, and it was so... Oh, you put it day before. I'm sorry. Derp. Do. That's my New Year's resolution, by the way, is to keep up with Signal. That's my one and only New Year's resolution, is to try and keep up with Signal. Because a lot of you wouldn't have to keep reminding me of certain things if I just would keep up with Signal and bookmark them as I saw them. Let's see. Where is it? Damn it. I'm a ding dong. Oh, poop. All right, I'll find it. I'll find it. Oops, wait.
Without getting into operational sensitivities, Ryan Wedding was apprehended last night in Mexico City. And to safeguard the integrity of the ongoing investigation, we will not go into that. But I think it goes without saying, to go down to Mexico, to find a guy who's been on the lam for multiple years for some of the most egregious crimes on planet Earth takes an interagency-wide effort led out by President Trump, our DOJ, and our partners in Mexico, and very grateful for that partnership. Did you hear her? Sorry, go ahead.
Who was the second person? I understand there was a second person.
Unrelated to Mr. Wedding's apprehension, an individual by the name of Mr. Castillo, another top 10 fugitive on the FBI's most wanted list, was apprehended also in Mexico last week. We are going to be transporting him east right after we depart here today. As the gentleman stated, Mr. Wedding is in custody already. He was transported off the plane. Sorry. The indictment stems from the Los Angeles U.S. Attorney's Office, so the investigators, the police, will handle that appropriately in that jurisdiction. This arrest was a success of interagency law enforcement putting itself to the max every single day relentlessly. We will not comment on anyone regarding the rewards. We'll take one more question. Sorry, I can't hear you. Well, we came to Ontario because the weather's pretty nice here, but we also have to maximize operational security. We make these decisions jointly with our partners who run these airports. We make these decisions jointly with the local police force and our interagency officers. There are trigger points and earmarks that we have to meet to safely transport an individual of the level and caliber of Ryan Wedding. And so that collective decision was made to ensure the security of both the transportation and the federal transfer of custody that the FBI executed, and also to ensure the safety of his confinement and ultimate prosecution. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day.
Wow, 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 wow. So that was a good question. Why Ontario, California, I presume? Why Ontario, California, when you've got these people from all over the whatever, and he's like, the weather's nice. No, look at the nice weather. That's actually why. He wanted a trip to LA. Is his girlfriend singing anywhere locally? Is that what it is? I'm smoking some Sunday Driver on a Friday. Fuck yeah, Mr. Spock. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it, get it, get it. Oh, I found that article, Teresa. I found the New York Times. Just ignore the fact that the New York Times is telling me my payment didn't go through. It's fine. Don't worry about it. It'll go through. It'll be fine. Just ignore that. Don't pay attention to that. Please. Okay. All right. Boop. Let's do this. Boop. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Everybody knows. Everybody knows you're all mad at me. You're all mad at me because I didn't pay my bill yet. Just shut up. Okay. So this is the piece Teresa was talking about the culture at the FBI, which there was that kind of whistleblower report. I think we went over certain parts of it. Maybe I just went over it in my head. But this is an article from the New York Times Magazine from a couple of days ago that goes over some of that, I imagine. Spock, can I do a Canna suggestion? Yes, Spock, you can do. Spock, did you hear the part where I have a radio station now? Radio Lolo. I'm not kidding. We really did it. We built this city to make Ryan Wedding feel at home. I don't get it. It's so weird. Okay. Yeah, you can do the weed segment. Oh, this is actually really great. This is going to be educational. Oh, this is going to be great. And you know what? I think spaced out trivia in some form could become like a wait, don't tell me concept, right? Which is wait, don't tell me is one of my favorite all-time radio shows. I love radio shows, actually. I think they're fucking awesome. I do love Lake Wobegon, okay? I used to listen to that all the time. So, yeah, we have a radio station, Radio Lolo. Hi, Peace Love. How are you, darling? That's so cool. Yeah, this is going to be great. I'm going to tell you guys, we're on to something, okay? We're on to something. And it doesn't have to even interfere with the YouTube. Like, YouTube needs to stay. It's together. Scott Adams did a PSA before he died. It was for ivermectin as a cure for cancer. I guess it didn't work out in the end. Nope. Womp womp. Hey, and listen, I didn't shed a tear for Scott Adams because he was a motherfucking asshole. You know, his comic was dumb, Dilbert. It was stupid. It wasn't even artistic. And he became, or was, and then had his own little YouTube show. And his hate filled him with whatever, and he just recently died from cancer. So, yeah, well, you know, a lot of people die from cancer. That's what I'm going to say about that. Okay, let me read this story to you. Okay, stop it. God, you're embarrassing me in front of my friends. Stop embarrassing me in front of my friends. Damn it. Okay, quote, you need leadership that believes in the nonpartisan independence of the agency. Again, this is about the FBI. I said people in the FBI will follow the facts. We were waiting and waiting for that to happen. Ooh, ouch. We're losing the ability for agents to conduct their work without fear or favor because the FBI won't protect you. Yeah, he really did. He was completely evil. I mean, some of the things he said were absolutely evil. I was banned from his chat like, I don't know, years ago or whenever, I don't know, a couple of years ago. A year inside Kash Patel's FBI. 45 current and former employees on the changes they say are undermining the agency and making America less safe. January 22nd. When he returned to office last year, President Dump called the FBI a corrupt agency in need of overhaul. He had by then been the subject of 3 FBI investigations. Agents examined his 2016 campaign's alleged ties to Russia, his retention of classified documents at Mar-a-Lago after leaving office, and his attempts to overturn the 2020 election. Though all 3 inquiries took place in part or entirely under Christopher Wray, the FBI director Trump appointed, he repeatedly accused the Bureau of mounting a partisan attack against him. To replace Wray, Trump chose Kash Patel, a former public defender and intelligence official who had never worked for the FBI and had spun conspiracy theories about the Bureau. Since Patel's confirmation last February, the FBI has undergone a transformation that has upended its nonpartisan rules and norms, deeply rattling many of its 38,000 employees. Patel has fired agents who worked on the Dump administration or investigations and radically changed the Bureau's mission. More than 20% of the FBI's workforce has been assigned to immigration enforcement, pulling agents and analysts away from investigating public corruption, cybercrime, white-collar crime, drug trafficking, and terrorism. Patel has also been embroiled in controversies over his use of government resources, his temperament, and missteps in high-profile investigations. We interviewed 45 employees who work at the FBI or who left during Trump's second term, as well as many other current and former government officials. Beginning with Trump's selection of Patel, our sources narrated the events that most troubled them over the last year. Many details of what we learned are reported here for the first time. The FBI is a rule-bound and tight-lipped institution. Bureau policies prohibit active employees from speaking to the news media without authorization. Even for former employees, speaking out is a sign of serious alarm. Some of our sources shared their stories anonymously because they feared retribution from the administration. To protect their identities, we are not indicating whether the people we quoted anonymously are still employed by the FBI. We corroborated their descriptions of specific events and conversations with colleagues, contemporaneous notes, and internal records. Patel and other FBI leaders named in this article declined our request for interviews, and we followed up with a detailed list of questions. In response to a request for comment, Ben Williamson, an FBI spokesman, wrote, "This story is a regurgitation of fake narratives, conjecture, and speculation from anonymous sources who are disconnected from reality. They can whine and peddle falsehoods all they want, but it won't change the facts that the FBI under this administration worked with partners at every level and delivered a historic 2025. We also asked the White House for comment. President Dump and FBI Director Patel are restoring integrity to the FBI by returning its focus to fighting crime and letting good cops be cops. Abigail Jackson, destined for hell, a White House spokeswoman said in a statement. Sorry, I added that part. Fear will do that. Yep. I can't post cat gifs on the radio. Oh gosh, Carla, I'm sorry. Well, we're gonna have you do a comedy hour, Carla. Are you ready? It's for Carla I don't know, Carla, what you want to call your comedy hour. You could do clips. You can do whatever you want. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to sign you up for that, but I hope you'll consider it. Everyone should just try it once. That's all I'm asking. Just try it once. Have fun with me on the radio once. That's all I'm asking. Live out your radio dreams finally with Lolo, Radio Lolo. I invite my friends to come forth and dream their dreams if they have them. I'm not assuming everybody dreams of being Adrienne Barbeau in The Fog from a 1980 film who lives in a lighthouse. I'm not expecting everybody. I won't be dyeing my hair or anything like that. I'm not going that far. I won't be getting a boob job just to be that close to her, but yeah. Sorry, back to the article. Many of the current and former employees fear, however, that the FBI has become a weapon of the White House and that the firings and the diversion of resources to immigration enforcement have left the country vulnerable to attack. Oh, well, that's fairly serious. November 30th, 3 weeks after winning re-election, Trump named Patel as his nominee for FBI director. On a podcast, Patel had promised to shut down Bureau headquarters on his first day in the post and reopen it as, quote, a museum of the derp state. And that's him wearing his crypto Punisher scarf that has his crypto coin on it because he's a grifter. Yeah, exactly. And that was in 2024. John Sullivan, former section chief in the Intelligence Division. I assumed Congress would see how uniquely unqualified Kash Patel was for the job. I assumed the Senate would do its due diligence and decide not to confirm him. Really? Why do people believe that who are serious adults? Yeah, it's the Carla Kuda hour. I love it. We can't swear on it, though, Carla. It's going to be real hard for you and me. I don't know how we're going to do it, but we'll figure it out. And then I want Orrin. Orrin needs to do a Veterans Corner. Oh, you guys, look at all the wonderful, fucking rich, beautiful content. Oh, my God. You guys, we could build the most beautiful radio station. Oh, my gosh. I would ask Dee if she wants to do so. Oh. We have so many friends that have so much talent and so much to offer. Oh, I think this is, oh my God. I hope I'm probably a little high. And you know what? I haven't gotten much sleep, so maybe part of that enthusiasm is the lack of sleep. But man, how great would that be? It doesn't even have to be an hour. It could be a half hour. It's easy to fill a half hour, trust me. And I would help. I would help all of you. I would do whatever you need me to do. Oh my gosh, you guys, we could do this. Anyway, all right. Okay, Michael Feinberg, former assistant special agent in charge of the field office in Norfolk, Virginia. When Kash Patel was nominated, we all knew in our bones that the Bureau was going to be a very different environment than any of us had experienced before. He regularly referred to us as government gangsters. Oh my God. That was the name of his book. Fucking block. Wow. He was also the author of 3 children's books in which he's a self-styled wizard. Wait a minute. No. Hold on, because you know what this needs? You know what this story needs? You all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. You know what's coming. You know what's coming. Oh, there it is. There it is. Come on. There he is. Kash, the distinguished discoverer. This was made by Gal, I think. Was it Gal or was it J. Rance? Or Clay. Gosh, I don't even know who made this. But that's him in his wizard hat. No, we made that. But see, he does appear in the books as a wizard. We're not kidding about that. Okay. Who saves King Donald Dump from the evil forces of the Justice Department. Holy shit. This is our fucking country. God, please, somebody take us over. Canada, take us over, please. Please. Oh, I know what that is. We're having fire. Hold on. I gotta make sure. Okay, hold on just a minute, everyone. At some point, someone's gonna stick their nose in my door, and I don't know when that's gonna happen, but okay. Anyway, well, this will probably be short. Okay. All right. A lot of people in the FBI have the faith in the country. They may come from police or military families. They think they're doing the right thing and it will all work out. And you know, there was a kernel of truth in what Patel was saying. There are too many people in headquarters. Let's get more people back into the field. A human intelligence agent said, I wanted the White House to succeed. For 20 years, I collected information for the president's daily briefing. I listened to Kash Patel on a podcast, and the way he viewed January 6 aligned with the FBI rank and file. Oh, that's interesting. Agents always thought if you assaulted officers on that day, yes, absolutely, we should investigate and prosecute you. For the rest of them, it was a massive misuse of resources. But then I heard Patel was thinking of a mass purge of the leadership and dismissing agents wholesale. January 20th. The Dump administration decided that until Patel was confirmed, the FBI's acting director would be Rob Cassane, a veteran counterterrorism agent. The acting deputy director would be Brian Driscoll, the special agent in charge of the Newark field office. Maybe I should go check the door. Hold on. BRB. Let me BRB for a minute. I'm going to put on some music. Hold on.
Shutting the fascists down, finding the facts so fast, we make the fun times last. And Lolo's Lounge, the best damn friends in all damn town. Rockin' down the lounge, shutting the fascists down, finding the facts so fast we make the fun times last. And Lolo's Lounge, the best damn friends in the whole damn town. Shutting the fascists down, finding the facts so fast, we make the fun times last. And Lolo's Lounge, the best damn friends in all damn town. Rockin' down the lounge, shutting the fascists down, finding the facts so fast we make the fun times last. And Lolo's Lounge, the best damn friends in the whole damn town. Rockin' round the lounge, shutting the fascists down, finding the facts so fast, we make the fun times last. And Lolo's Lounge, the best damn friends in all damn town. Rockin' down the lounge, shutting the fascists down, finding the facts so fast we make the fun times last. And Lolo's Lounge, the best damn friends in the whole damn town. Shutting the fascists down, finding the facts so fast, we make the fun times last. And Lolo's Lolo's Lounge, the best damn friends in my whole damn town. Rock the time around, shutting the fascists down, fighting the facts so fast we make the 5 times last. Down Lolo's Lounge, Lolo's Lounge, the best damn friends in the whole damn town. Rocking round the lounge, shutting the fascists down, finding the facts so fast we make the fun times last. And Lolo's Lounge, Lolo's Lounge, the best damn friends in the whole damn town. Rockin' time around, shutting the fascists down, fighting the facts so fast we make the 5 times last. Down Lolo's Lounge, Lolo's Lounge, the best damn friends in the whole damn town. Rocking round the lounge, shutting the fascists down, finding the facts so fast we make the fun times last.
Okay, well, sorry, you're gonna. Unfortunately, you have to listen to the fire alarm too. So we'll see. We'll see if this is something that people can even handle. All right, here we go. Let me make sure I catch up. The cold kills germs. You're ready to jump across the river. What does that mean? The Rizzard GIF. Yes, this is a very exciting idea. Jane, you can be a guest on my show. Oh my God, are you guys? Yeah, Carla, just go bleepity bleep when you have to say the F-bomb. Definitely has a lot of potential. Good way to reach the people in my circle who aren't on YouTube, but need to do. Yeah, exactly. See, this is my thing, Lee, is that we can do this so that it is, I don't know. I just really want to be thoughtful about like building slowly. That's a great ad for Lolo Radio. I know, I have it playing, unfortunately. God, please don't listen to the radio station right now because it's really boring. It's the theme songs that I have and ads. No, it's not. The fire department is doing their annual check of our fire things. Yeah. My dog is freaking out. But anyway. Okay, good. To live in Canada, I'm with you, Lee. When do we leave? We could find a little place up in the mountains or something, or on the plains with great views and by a lake. Let's do it. I'm in. Okay. Let's read some more. Yeah. Okay, stop. God, I'll do it after the show. Shut up, New York Times. Stop embarrassing me in front of my friends. I don't think I have anything that beeps like that, but I'm looking for it. No, it's my fire alarm. They're doing it on purpose. I knew they were going to do it. Okay, January 20th. All right, here we go. The acting deputy would be Brian Driscoll, the special agent in charge of the Newark field office. But in its announcement, the White House, listen up here, folks. Okay, I'm going to read this all again. The FBI's acting director would be Rob Kassan, a veteran counterterrorism agent. The acting deputy director would be Brian Driscoll, the special agent in charge of the Newark field office. But in its announcement, the White House accidentally named Driscoll to the top position. Though it was an error, Driscoll became the acting number 1 and Kassan became number 2. So they fucked up the announcement and went with it. You cannot make this up. You cannot write a telenovela that has these many gimmicks. I can't with it. I'm working on Nexus for work purposes. Oh yeah, Nexus Lexus. Did anything crazy happen today, Josh? There's a big storm happening, and we just had to listen to Kash Patel, but I don't know. Let's see. They're building new communities 500 kilometers from major cities. The cool thing is that they use Evan planning ideas, bike paths, but it would be planning for the long term. I'm partial to the area north of Sarnia, Bruce Peninsula. Okay, I'm in. I know you're going to pick the right place. Believe me, you have excellent taste. That's 300 miles, which is just 3 hours from major cities. That's fine. I don't need to be near a major city. Sir, you have this position accidentally. Exactly. Teresa, come on. This is the head of the acting head of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and they made a mistake. And then they said, let's just go with it. The Bruce is super. Now I really want to look at this. Now, okay, good. Wait, I need to take a picture of this because I'll forget what that's called. And I'll forget to ask Lee. And then I'll be like, remember, Lee, you were saying something like... And she'll be like, no, I don't remember because, yeah. Okay. Boop. Oh, my God. All right. Sorry, I'm all over the place. Okay, Jacqueline McGuire, former executive assistant director. The White House reversing the announcement added to this uncertain, uncomfortable feeling. It doesn't bode well if they didn't get that right. But I've known Brian and Rob a long time, and some of the other executive assistant directors did as well. We'd all grown up in the Bureau, and we wanted to work together. This woman said that they're picturing. They said that we were being fired because we could not be trusted to carry out the president's agenda. That's actually not a reason to fire someone. I heard. Didn't that come up in another, like the Lisa Cook Supreme Court case that we just heard? Didn't it come up that you couldn't fire them for... I guess you can... I guess that's more... No, that's a distinct agency. That's not the FBI report, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, that's an interesting question, a legal question I would ask. January 30th to 31st, 2025, at his Senate confirmation hearing, Patel was asked whether he would fire the FBI agents who worked on the investigations that led to Special Counsel Jack Smith's prosecution of Trump. Patel responded that, quote, no one will be terminated for case assignments. Later in the hearing, he also promised there would be no retributive. Ooh, that's a good one. I don't even know. Where's the emphasis on that one? No retributive. It must be retributive actions against employees. I don't know. You know how I like to. That's fun for me. The next day, Trump administration officials, including Emil Bovee, the acting deputy attorney general, Little Imp, and Trump's former defense attorney, forced out the Bureau's top 6 executives, along with the heads of the FBI field offices in Washington, D.C. and Miami. John Sullivan, former section chief in the Intelligence Division, said those firings sent shockwaves. A senior executive reported it was hundreds of years of experience in one brutal swoop. It made it easier to bring their people in, yes, but there are no people to bring in with that level of experience because it's so specialized. You have to cut your teeth. It's just like the military. To lead, you have to understand the headquarters and the field. David Sundberg, former assistant director in charge of the Washington field office, said, he said, I wish I could sing to the fire alarm. I wish I could write a song. I don't know. What note is that? Is that an A? Is my fire alarm an A? Oomph, where are you? Oomph knows. Oomph, is that an A? Are you still listening? Is that an A? Bruce Peninsula has been on my list for a summer visit for a while now. Lee, we gotta go. It's supposed to be nice out there. Warning beeps for this article. Good timing, right? Exactly. What's that note? Is that an A? I don't know. I don't know how to read music. A D? Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. Oh, you think it's a C. Josh thinks it's a C. Oops, like a D? No. I need a piano. Hurry, stat, get me a piano. Somebody get a piano in this place. See? Put the money in the bag, see? Okay, David Sundberg, former assistant director in charge of the Washington field office. I came back to DC to run the office at the end of 2022 when two special counsels, Rob Hur and Jack Smith, were appointed to investigate Biden and Trump. I did not direct those cases, but it was my job to manage the agent and the analyst resources for them. We conducted factual and effective investigations into two presidents from two political parties at the same time. To do that, you need leadership that believes in the nonpartisan independence of the agency. When I was told to retire or be fired, I was frustrated that I couldn't protect my analysts and agents from partisan interference. I wanted to be their shield. Jacqueline McGuire, former executive assistant director, said at the hearing, Patel made it sound like he didn't know they were getting rid of all the top leaders, but if he really had nothing to do with it, he would have shown up and asked, where'd everyone go? But he didn't ask. They said we were being fired because we could not be trusted to carry out the president's agenda. I asked if there was any allegation of misconduct. They said no. This was my life, my career, my identity, my calling. It was a privilege to serve the American people. To end it so quickly, it still upsets me. January 31st, while Patel waited to be confirmed, Bovee ordered the acting FBI leadership to create a list of all employees assigned to January 6 investigations. Well, so on a technicality, Cash said, I'm not going to get rid of anybody because of case assignments. But I didn't say ML Bovee wouldn't. You know how they love those kinds of retorts, witty retorts. To determine whether any additional personnel actions are necessary. In response, Driscoll and Kassan sent a survey to employees asking about their roles in those cases. Okay. Yeah, it was just a day with some tourists. As a reminder, to begin his second term, Donald Trump granted clemency to the nearly 1,600 people charged in the Jan 6 riot using an auto pen. Maria Ricci, former assistant special agent in charge of the Washington field office, said the news hit about the list in the survey, and it was mass chaos. People who worked on real sensitive cases, January 6th, the special counsel investigations, the public corruption side of the Trump investigation. Wow, were packing up their bags and assuming they were about to be fired. People were crying, taking down family pictures from their desks because they were afraid that they wouldn't be let back in on Monday. This was at the same time that some of the people who worked on those cases were working on the plane crash in the Potomac. They were diving out there, finding dead bodies, and being told that they were going to be fired. A Northwest special agent said, if you really dig deep down, it's not just the case agents. Those cases involved a whole host of other people like surveillance, negotiators, SWAT teams. It's hard not to have touched one of those cases in some way. Maybe even more so than 9/11, because January 6 was the largest investigation in the history of the Bureau. Michael Feinberg, former assistant special agent in charge of the field office in Norfolk, Virginia, ML Bovee did not care that individual agents have no say in what matters they work on. You get assigned investigations. There were many agents who ended up on that list who had misgivings about how aggressively January 6 was being investigated. So there was a real sense that there was a sort of random persecution going on rather than actually figuring out who was making operational decisions and assigning responsibility to senior executives. Bovee was viewed by the FBI workforce not only as somebody whose integrity could not be trusted, but as this almost cartoonish figure halfway between a mob enforcer and the Grim Reaper. And Bovee said, I'm not going to talk to you. February 4th and 5th, in response to Bovee's demand, Driscoll and Kassan handed over a list of thousands of employees identified only by their Bureau ID numbers who worked on the Jan 6 investigation. Okay, sorry. That's a no from me. Let's see. There was a January 6 investigations. In response, current and former FBI employees. I guess this is probably not going to happen. I think this is going to continue. Yeah. Okay. Well, That's life. That's life. That's what people say. You get pooped on every day. Is my radio? I don't know why my radio's not playing. I'm very upset. Radio Lolo. Where is it? I guess you can't hear my radio station. Okay. Sorry. I'm coming back. Have you tried turning it off and off again? No, it's the fire department is testing it. It's my building. My building is testing. Turning off the fire pit. Oh yeah, the fire pit behind me. You're right, Jay. I should probably maybe if I didn't have a fire burning in my bedroom, this wouldn't be happening. Tobermory is the crown jewel of Ontario. Looks lovely. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so excited. We've got a radio station. We're all moving to Canada. This is going to be great. This is going to be great. Jay Rance, you're so funny. I think you're so funny. You have to do something. Jay, you and I have to do something on the radio show. I don't know what, but I can't wait. I might be trying to build a house. Oh, that's right, Jane. You're building a house in Michigan this summer, but I might be able to fit in a break to Tobermory. Lion's Head, a nice beach up there, too. Oh, my God. Okay, what are we waiting for? I mean, time's a wasting. You got arms and I got arms. Why don't we use those arms? Oh, time's a wasting. It's a good Johnny Cash song. Okay, well, once we get a little more, oh fucking hell, my eyesight. Once we get a little more fascism in the rear view, yeah, exactly. Yeah, we do have some things to address here. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I just want to protect you so badly. Okay, well, I'm gonna go have some more weed. Okay, so tonight, no, we're not done. It's never over. Well, I guess it's never over because it's never really over. And if you think it's over, then it's never really over. And if you think it's over, then it's never really over again. Da, 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 da. Yeah, I'll be back on tonight with trivia. Trivia, that's right. It's another chance to shine, people. You have another chance to shine in Spaced Out Trivia tonight on this channel. Yeah, at 6:30 p.m. Oh my God, Jay Rance, what the hell? You gifted 10 memberships? Girl, that is too much. I could try a green building show. Yes, Jane and Jane. Jane squared. Jane squared. Oh my God. All right, Lady Weiser, Sammy Joe. I don't know who these people are. Mr. Spock, you got one. Teresa, you got one. Badger, you got one. Oh my God. Michael Q, I think I know you. Yes, Michael, you're very sweet. You got one. Shoremaid, that's Annette. Maxie. Bobo got one, the lesser known clown. Oh my gosh. Jim Stewartson. Fucking hell, Jay. You gave so many friends look at all the great people. I'm going to go over it again. Mr. Spock got one. Teresa got one. Badger got one. Michael Q got one. Shoremaid, a.k.a. Annette, got one. 31 Rewolf is actually Max, got one. Bobo got one. Jim Stewartson got one. Oh my God. That's like a fucking bonanza. Oh my God. Jay, you have the touch. You got the look. Okay, wait. Oh, I don't have you know what I don't have anymore right now? I have to re-download the other. I have to download your theme song, Jay. I haven't downloaded it yet. Here we go. This is for my D&D dungeon master. Her name is Jay Rance. That's right. And there we go. There's Val. Yeah. Oh, Val, you're so sweet. I don't think Robert got one. He didn't get one. I don't think so. And Jay Ranson came along and bought 10 memberships, and they were given to many of our dearest friends. We love our friends so much, and I wish the membership had some things that could be more worthwhile. Hopefully 99 cents is not a burden to bear. Oh, God. Okay. Thank you. You know what I need? I need to have that song with no lyrics so that I can just, this is the instrumental. I need the instrumental of that song so that we can do it. I'm living out my Adrienne Barbeau fantasies. I can't believe it. I can't believe it's happening to me. Val, for those of you, Val. Oh my God, Val, guess what, Val, we have a thing. We have a radio station now, Val. Wait, Val, you got here just in time. Because I want to show you the radio station. Hold on. Where the fuck is it? Oh, here it is. Oh, I was right there. Okay, wait, hold on. Oops. Okay. This is our radio station. I'm doing a free trial, so I hope it works. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't totally committed to this particular station, but now I'm hooked because I couldn't stop. I couldn't go to sleep last night. I was so excited. Okay, so this is our new radio station. And Val, listen. This is important. This is really important. Oh, man, get out of here, Cash Patel. Just get out. Just get out. Oh, okay. Anyway, I can't play for you right now because there's really nothing on it. But we have a radio station, Val, and you could do a segment. Everybody's invited. I'm going to invite people to do segments, like not the chuds, not that, but people that we like. I'm going to invite people to do segments. Oh, you finish snowstorm prep? Oh, Carla, please be careful. Everyone in the snowstorm path, this is a 2,000-mile storm. That's what I saw on the news today, a 2,000-mile storm. If you're in the path of that, please be careful. Please be safe. Please. Jay Rance's dramatic readings. Yeah, please stay safe and warm, and let us know if you need anything. The Discord will be open. We've done that before. During a hurricane, we stayed on the phone with Gal as the power, and Jay. I don't know if we were doing that when you were going through what you were going through, which was the glue gun warrior lore is incredible. Can call out the chud of the day. There you go, Teresa. How to run or start a commune to prepare. I think that's a great idea. But Val, here's the thing, You could do van life. You could do a little segment on van life. Hey, I'm here in the Northwest and I'm checking out this local deli. You could literally do that on the radio. Val, you don't even, isn't this going to be fun? Isn't that fun? I'm so excited. I'm really excited about it. Anyway, more to come. I'm going to do some reading today about this particular platform and what it's capable of. So more to come. I'll try and see if I can get it all going together. But thank you. Gosh. Yeah, this has been a dream of mine since I was young. I mean, I wasn't a child. I guess I was. 1980. I guess I was technically a child. I was a minor. Let's put it that way. And I saw The Fog, and Adrienne Barbeau. Val, you remember Adrienne Barbeau in The Fog. She was the single mother who ran a radio station out of a lighthouse. Oh my God. Talk about a dream come true. I was fucking mesmerized. I was a total mesmerized. And yeah, can life recipes. I mean, we can do we can do cooking. We can do so much. Oh my God. And you never have to be on camera, so you don't even have to worry about that. Oh my gosh. Neil's going to be the news director. Oomph is going to do music and like poetry and like he'll read the Fourth Amendment. He said, we're going to have the Fourth Amendment on loop for an hour a day. And then over and over and over and over and over. And everyone can just try your radio dreams with Radio Lolo. That's what I'm inviting my friends to do. Experience the dream of having your own radio show, if only for a moment. You don't have to do it forever. Fuck, man. You don't even have to do it more than once. But this is an invitation to my friends to, if you want to try something on a radio, let's fucking make it happen, because I'm so excited about this. I have a lot to learn, but I am excited about it. Oomp's Constitutional Corner. Oh my God. Oomp's Constitutional Corner. I think we're definitely doing that. That's my opinion! That's what I think should happen. That's right, Balzac. We could call it the Balzac Hour. Yes, Constitutional Corner with Oomph. Please, Oomph. Please. One off the bucket list. There you go. Yeah, I hosted a radio program once. Yeah, sure I did, fuckers. I have my own. You can walk around and go like, what do you do? Oh, I have my own radio show. Yeah, we'll get you cards. It's going to be great, you guys. We're going to have so much fun. Media literacy and constitutional readings. Fuck yeah. Wasn't there a report we might read soon? Somehow we missed. Which one, Jane? Because there was a couple reports. Oh, shit. I know I had a couple reports. I think I can read the Fourth Amendment maybe 75 to 80 times in an hour. Okay. Well, we'll just have it on loop. That's all. You only have to record it once. That's right. You only have to record it once. Wait, Josh, what did you say? I can do pot growing and fishing segments. Josh, that's perfect. I'm being fucking serious, you guys. It's hard to fit the troll shit into the resume. Yeah. I know. But here's the thing, you guys. I'm serious about this. Carla's doing urban warfare. Gal, we had a good laugh this morning because Gal's kids are home because of the weather. The schools are closed where she is, so she's homeschooling, and she proposed that first period was going to be what was it? I can't remember now. It was like disinformation or hybrid warfare, something like AI or real. That was one lesson plan. Oh my God, everybody needs this. I'm going to tell you, I could point to any one of you right now. Okay, I'm being serious right now. I could literally go down the list of people that are in our world, that are part of the lounge, that could, and tell you what I think you could do. Now, you probably have a better idea of what you could do, but I'm going to tell you right now, each and every person that is part of this like community has so much to offer, and we have such a diverse group of people, and we want more diversity, right? Like, this would be another opportunity to invite more people in, more voices. I just think this could be a really cool little fucking thing. Is it going to change the world? Probably not, because 4 years into this, look at how much I've built. So I'm not exactly like a barn buster builder type of girl, but it would be hopefully fulfilling in that you're sharing a part of you. And if this is something you've thought of, but you never would want to just do it on your own, I invite you to take a little corner. You could do a 5-minute segment. Listen, you don't have to change. You don't have to do an hour. You don't have to do anything. I'm not telling you what to do. Your kid could have done zombie apocalypse prep a few years ago. Oh my God, I would love that. I mean, Bobo and I would love to do a show together. We have dreamed about that forever. So I totally am signing her up to do something, whether it's just us shooting the shit or talking about movies or whatever the case may be. We'd all be drunk, edgy, and insane. Neil, I love it. Drunk, edgy. edgy and insane. But it's just an opportunity. See, to me, this is like 24 hours a day you have to fill, right? So you have a lot of opportunity to build in. Like, I want a call-in show. I want to just go on in the middle of the night and like rant. Like, literally, this is going to be my playground. I am so excited. I know, Meowing Star, we've already signed her up for all of the science. You know, I don't know. I can't think of the clever name of that one yet. Like, I was thinking something like a kitty science, perfect science, no, or something like that. And she could just talk about whatever she wants, like fun stuff. Like, hey, have you seen Atlas 3I? It's not gonna hit the Earth. You know, like, it's not aliens. She could just say whatever she wants. And we're not monitored by the FCC at this point. So there's that. I mean, we do have to work within the guidelines of, you know, blah, blah. You literally set it up. The program, the Live 365 platform is really a good platform because it allows you to it has all the kind of bells and whistles built in. So it's really that you're building it modularly as you go along. And I appreciate that because I'm not really technically that savvy. And there's definitely still some settings and things that I need to do some research on. But it absolutely is a lot of, it's going to be so much fun. It's going to be so much fun. Grace Lisa is here. So would you take a submitted item and stack them to play? Yes, because I can upload tracks, right? So you upload tracks and that's how and then you can schedule them at times, you can recurring times, you can do all that through the platform. So actually, I mean, yeah, you just send me the segment and then we can put it in wherever. If it's an MP3, even an MP4, if it's an MP3 or MP4, I can upload it to the tracks and slot it into the segment or put it in the rotation where I have it right now set to auto DJ. So auto DJ will automatically put like 4 ads in an hour and then the rest of it will be whatever content I've loaded and it'll randomly cycle through that content. So that's what it's set to right now. But I can also build an hour by hour schedule in the system and it'll go through that. And so I'm still learning about that aspect of it. And then there's music services that I can pay for, or not even, some I don't have to pay for, where you can stream that music because it's completely like royalty free, etc., and intended for these purposes. You can stream music in between your segments so that there's like jazz playing or something. So it's maybe chill. I think we could, I'm going to put, this is something I've wanted to do my whole life. So I'm definitely taking this really seriously. And, hopefully it's something that I'm able to learn more about as we go along. But yeah, that is bomb. It is going to be bomb. We're bomb. Humanitarian hour. Oh my God. Poetry hour. Fuck, man. I would like 7 poetry hours. Are you kidding me? You don't think I'm going to be like reading my stupid... I have so much poetry written in a secret website that nobody knows about. I have so much poetry that I need to read into the world. And the radio is the perfect place to do it. And I could read news stories. I could read, you know, like I have to be careful again with content. I want to be mindful of that. But the possibilities are there. And this is something we really... Dirty Limerick Hour? Oh my God, absolutely. 100%. Is there a link for it somewhere? I can help with admin stuff. Oh, I love you so much, Val. Yeah, I'll send you, actually, I can send you all the link. I want to make sure it's operational. Right now, it looks like it's a little dysfunctional, so I'll figure out what's happening. Will I have to use my big boss with the hot sauce radio DJ voice? Oh, Neil, I hope you do. Oh, Neil, I would be here for that. I am all for that. What a wonderful creative outlet. I know. It just feels like it's a very open, you know, it's not as interactive. Okay, I understand. There's definitely not the interactive piece, although I do intend to have a talk show because I would like to have a call-in show or something like that. And but other than that, I mean, I think there is a lot of potential here to distribute content and just have it in the ether. You know what I mean? Like that, I think, is important to have things in the ether. and get your message out on different platforms. And maybe this becomes a different type of platform later on. This is just my initial foray into it, and it's pretty low risk and low expense, obviously, low exposure. So it's a real opportunity to just play with it. Yeah, but it's great for camera, and it is great for camera shy people. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I hope it opens a door for people that feel like they want to say something, but don't want to expose themselves in that way. So, yeah, I know. I love poetry reading. You're never going to leave the house again. I know, probably not. But if I was Adrienne Barbeau and I lived in a lighthouse, it'd be fine. I'd be okay with that. Speaking of which, there's another thing, the task that I'm giving you. It's movie night tomorrow night, and I don't think we've finally decided on movies. So I will put out I do have some ideas. So I will put those ideas into the Discord and see if it can generate any creativity, get your juices flowing. And maybe you have a movie suggestion that you'd like us to watch tomorrow night. So I welcome suggestions wholeheartedly of movies that we might watch. We usually do 2. We do like a main feature, and then we do like a B movie, and it's usually like culty and cute and sexy or sci-fi and campy and just yummy kind of Saturday night slumber party vibes kind of thing. And a great chat. It's like MST 3000, like Mystery Science Theater 3000, but without the voiceover. It's just happening in chat. It's really wonderful. It's a great experience. China Syndrome. Actually, yeah. I think GP said in Australia he could not get China Syndrome. But we did discuss that. We definitely need a Gal Squad segment. Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, yeah, Gal needs her own show. I don't know if she has time to do it, but she needs her own show. So that's something I've dreamed for since I met her, actually, 4 or 5 years ago. Actually, 5 years ago. Wow. That's awesome. Fun breaks will puff pass with friends. Yeah, absolutely. Oh my God. The stupid ads we can create. Oh, friends, I have very big plans of creating a lot of parody ads. Okay. The content ideas on this are fairly endless for me. And I swear to God, if I can just fire up the microphone in the middle of the night and do a rant or just have a conversation or just, I don't know, do a guided meditation. Fuck, man. I have so much shit in my head. You don't even know. It's hard to get it all out. That's what's wrong. Is that I'm overwhelmed. Not that they're good ideas. I'm not saying that they're all good ideas. Don't get it twisted. But they're my ideas. So maybe someday I'll be lucky. You know what I was singing this morning was, what was I singing this morning? Let me see, because it was actually a really nice song. Where is it? Anything goes. Hey, I think the sound stopped. They're probably looking in my house and saying, "Why are all these boxes everywhere?" Oh well. Okay, I better get my shit together here. Let's see. Oh man, meowing. Well, wait. What happened? Wait. Well, they gassed the ice protest at the Whipple building, but it's so cold the camera crews had already had to call it from equipment failing, so they don't have any cameras out there. Have you ever heard of King Apparat? Haven't heard of that. I think Paranoia Orgasmo should be an annual viewing tradition. I agree with that. I wonder, when did we watch that, Max? When did we watch Orgasmo? I think that was that might have been a year ago. Carly, you're doing a ska show? Yes, please. Oh my God, deep cuts on music. We'll figure out the licensing. We just need to figure that out. And with this platform, it's a little easier to figure out because they have some built-in stuff. Ska, reggae. I'm kind of into singing bowls. Fuck yeah, chakra guy. Do it all. Girlfriend. Anything that is going to, and first and foremost and most importantly, make you feel fulfilled, make you feel fun, give you something fun to do. That's the most important priority. Then secondarily, the more diverse the content of different things, you know, like, I don't know, all the ideas that we're coming up with, frankly, that's a radio station I would listen to, because you almost never know what's going to happen next, but it's all going to be exciting. Ska is wonderful music. Oh my God. I'm afraid to play some because I'll probably get knockered. Colossus, the Forbin Project, 1970 was discussed. Don't remember if Oz. Okay, I'll look at that one. Hold on. Let me take a picture of that. Okay. It honestly looks like ICE waited until the live stream's cut and then moved in rapidly. I don't know. You know, and we talked about the 5-year-old little boy who I believe is still in detention. I actually want to check on that. Hold on. Okay, let's see. Oh, here we go. Let's see. Okay. This is from Newsweek, and it's from a couple of hours ago. Yeah, about 2 hours ago. Trump officials give updates on 5-year-old Liam Ramos detained by ICE. U.S. Border Patrol. Oh my frickin' God, stop it. Stop it. Oh, Muriel Bowser is giving a warning too. Okay, U.S. Border Patrol and Immigration Customs Enforcement officials said Friday that the 5-year-old be seen being placed into a federal vehicle in Minneapolis was now with his family. Thank fucking God. What? Wait. What? No, wait. At a press conference in the... Okay, wait. Take that back, because that's not really what he said. At a press conference in the city, officials, including Border Patrol official Greg Bovino, said Liam Ramos was now at an ICE family detention center with his father, whom ICE agents were targeting earlier this week. So what that says to me is that Liam Ramos was, when he was detained, he was separated from his father for a period of time and now is with his father in a family detention center. That's how I'm interpreting that statement. I don't know if that is true. I could run an act auction. Oh, yes. That's a great idea. They just aired on MSNBC. Scanners. Oh, Scanners. I do like that movie, Max. That's a good one. All right. These are good ideas. Okay. U.S. Border Patrol said Friday that the was now with family. All right. So while, quote, while other officers apprehended his father after conducting the arrest, my officers stayed with the child. Boy. Wow. Marcos Charles, Executive Assistant Director of Enforcement and Removal Operations, said they cared for him, took him to get something to eat from a drive-through restaurant, and spent hours ensuring that he was taken care of. Again, my officers did that, not his father. My officers did everything they could to reunite him with his family. I don't understand that statement. I don't understand that quote at all. Liam Ramos' story is the latest out of Minnesota to cause concern about the Trump administration tactics when it comes to immigration enforcement. Local leaders have said that ICE and Border Patrol officers are being heavy-handed in their operations across Twin Cities, while the White House has maintained that agents are facing unprecedented violence toward them as they just try to do their jobs. Fuck you, Nazi bitch. Earlier this week, the Columbia Heights Public School District claimed Ramos had been used as bait by federal agents who told him to knock on the door of his home to see if other potential targets would come out. On Friday, Charles said this was false and that agents had been trying to get to the boy into the warm with his family, but they had refused to open the door to them. The school district previously said the boy's father told the mother not to open the door to agents. Meanwhile, Ramos' father, Ecuadorian national Adrian Alexander Conejo Arias, had abandoned him, Charles and Bovino claimed, having left the boy in his vehicle and fled on foot from agents as they sought to detain him. The boy's apparent detention by federal agents sparked concern and outrage, with multiple Dems calling for his release and denouncing the Trump administration for holding immigrant children at all. Department of Homeland Security officials have denied Ramos was detained and that agents had taken care of him. Charles and Bovino repeated this on Friday, with the ERO official saying that his officers had been heartbroken to see the child left behind by his father. Fortunately, Conejo Arias eventually requested that his child stay with him, Charles said. We do everything in our power not to separate families. So they took him back to Minneapolis, to the ICE facility for processing, and now they are being well cared for at a family residential center, pending their immigration proceedings. Where was this child born? Where was the child born? I'm going to tell you right now, if I'm the mother of that child and my child is at the door with an ICE agent, I'm opening the fucking door. There is no way on earth that you can convince me that these fucking Nazis who Newsweek is giving the platform to, notice we're not talking to anybody else. You're going to tell me that mother wouldn't have opened that door for that baby? Give me a fucking break. This is all a lie. These are dirty, nasty fucking lies, and shame on Newsweek for platforming it. Bovino, who has led the sweeping immigration operations across the U.S. and been accused of misconduct, by the way, said ICE and CBP were well experienced in caring for children. Why is that? Having dealt with so many families. Really? Is that true? But even these Nazi agents that you have? The district had said the family had an active asylum case and no deportation order was in place. I'm going to read that again. The school said that the family has an active asylum case and that there was no enforcement order in place. No deportation order, rather. An attorney working on the case, Mark Prokash, told reporters Thursday afternoon that Conejo Arias and Ramos arrived at the port of entry at the U.S. border and made an asylum claim under the Biden administration. Okay, so the child was born outside this country. Prokash said ICE had ignored their pending case. We are actively pursuing our legal remedies, Prokash told Newsweek in a statement Friday. The father and son are now detained at the Dilley Detention Center in San Antonio, Texas. Let's see. I don't really need to see what Greg said. Mark said, my big concern here is the fear that was generated, the terrorizing of the children in the community. That's just horrifying. We know that detaining children and families is wrong. Immigration violations are civil in nature. So how can you justify incarcerating a child because of a civil violation? Which is not even accurate here because they lawfully entered through the CBP One app. Texas Democratic Rep. Jasmine Crockett said, I will be visiting the Dilley Detention Center in San Antonio next week to conduct oversight and will demand answers on the whereabouts and well-being of Liam. If it were up to me, we'd be at the Dilley Detention Center right now getting answers. I am outraged. My heart aches for Liam's family. We will get answers. It remains unclear what's happening will happen to Ramos, with a fundraising aimed at bringing him home to Minneapolis surpassing $200,000. Yeah, so there you go. Wow. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. There's no way. The father was following all his appointments for becoming a citizen. At this point, every single MAGA out there is just outright hate liar, and it's too early to convince me. Oh, no, I'm telling you right now, Meowing, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. If you can still claim some kind of loyalty to this regime with everything that's been done, never mind the first things that were done, then you're balls deep. You're balls deep in the hate, and that's fine. That's now we know. At least we know who you are. At least we know who you are, and we can hide our children from you. That's the good news. They're arresting clergy praying outside the Minneapolis airport as well. And all the fucking news streamers went to watch Patriot Front. I know. See, there's the thing. It's the shiny object. It makes me absolutely sick to my stomach, frankly. Anyway. All right. I should probably go. I should go. I should probably catch up on my sleep that I missed from staying up all night creating this goofy radio station. But anyway, thank you so much for joining in today. I will definitely see you tonight for Spaced Out Trivia at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern, everything in between and outside of that. And it shall be a silly game of trivia to end your week of hell with laughter, hopefully. God willing, you'll laugh tonight. So I will see you and hope that I can make you laugh. Actually, I don't make you laugh. It's you who make each other laugh. All right. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day. I'm Lolo, and I'll see you later. Thanks for the membership, girl. You rock.